Okay. We're gonna switch over to the tabletop. Check this shit out, guys. Okay, you see that? Check this shit out. Don't put your hands too close to my hands. I'll realize how small my hands are. So we're just basically playing. Don't look at my tiny hands. What large hands you have? Thank you. I do not look at the size of these things, right? Thank you. Look at how huge these things are. Enormous gorilla gloves. Positively intimidating. They aren't large or small, they're perfect. Thank you.
There we go.
That's exactly correct. And also see that you know what, actually, we don't need the Spotify thing because you guys can't hear the music anyways.
That's true. Yeah.
So who the fuck cares? So I guess now we can put the wine.
Yeah, can you see it? Yeah, kinda.
A little bit. Yeah. All right. So here's stop where we're gonna get the damn chopstick all session. So
he's ready.
I'm ready. Check it out, guys. My fucking DM corner is such a disaster.
Do you have it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, give me. Yeah, give me. Check it out. So the black one you can't see, so I got a little white one.
There you go.
So that you guys can see it.
Very important. Critical stuff.
So this is kind of cool. I got a green screen for the table, so you guys can see the background. Now when we're rolling dice, we roll it, right? Isn't that fucking cool as hell?
Into the void.
Into the void. That's pretty fucking cool.
5 on a 6-sided.
Yeah.
Dice.
I got them DM rolls.
Yeah.
Do you want to pull out some of your green dice?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, check this shit out. With the green dice, they're fucking invisible. You can see through them.
Crazy.
Isn't that fucking cool?
This is just gonna be the whole stream. I hope that's fine.
Yeah, I hope you're okay with us just Googling about how cool our invisible dice are.
We're very excited. Look at this.
This is too neat, right? It's so fucking cool.
It is like glass.
It is like glass.
Yeah. Very important. There we go. There we go.
So,
anyways, it's very important.
So Kayleigh and I have our rather large glasses of wine ready to go. I was gonna have a neat Nightbot command to list what kind of wine it was, but guys, the prep for this took longer than I was expecting, and I don't think I didn't get to do all the things that I wanted to do, like getting the music sorted out or getting a neat command for the wine.
We'll have that. With this, we have room for improvement.
Exactly. We'll get it all sorted out eventually.
Future goals. Yeah.
Grizz found something to play with. I did. Isn't it cool? It's fire. I can touch it. It's right there. Oh, it's hot. Oh.
How's everybody's Saturday?
Yeah, how's your guys' Saturday going?
What's going on?
It's the kind of wine you drink, exactly.
That's all we need to know about it.
Exactly. It's
drinkable.
It's a Pinot Noir, and it's from BC, which is where we live. So it's like a local wine. BC does have really good wine too.
Yeah, Okanagan.
Okanagan.
Yeah, Okanagan.
We do not know much about wine other than it tastes good and we like it.
This one's red.
This one's red.
It's got an oaky finish. So says the bottle.
So says the bottle. Stayed
You haven't
home.
broke your PS4 yet. Sorry.
Stayed home all day. It was banging. That's fucking the
so
best.
Good.
So good.
So good.
Doing great, Adam. That's awesome. Getting a proper angle for the microphone is probably the next big thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of put it the only place that we could. The only place that we could. This is kind of reaching as far from. This is as good as it's gonna get for right now.
We'll work on it.
We'll work on it. Eventually, we could get shotgun mics for each other or something.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Kayleigh is cutting out occasionally. Yeah.
Sorry.
We could probably.
He gets nervous.
Kayleigh's cutting out. That's just it. I don't think I have too much of a noise gate. Go to my audio.
I just say it really close. The gate.
Is there a gate for OBS? 'Cause we're not talking about the gate for Discord, right? I don't know about a gate for. Are you using the Go XLR? Yes, I am using the Go XLR. Does the Go XLR have a gate for mic? Oh, turn down the gate? Are you saying? Oh shit! Hold on.
So freaking smart.
Yeah. So I turned down the gate. Just a sec. If I go like this, and now when we talk.
Is that better?
Oh, look at that! You can hear the music.
Holy smokes.
Oh shit!
Oh, good.
You guys can hear the music now. Hey, look at that.
Oh, thanks for fixing everything, chat.
Thank you guys.
That's awesome.
Yay!
Oh, very good.
Yeah, I had a hard cutout whenever you stopped talking. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah, very good.
Freaking awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, I turned the gate down. I can turn the gate down further.
So professional.
So professional, much stream. Yes, that's true. Let us know if we need to turn the gate down even further. I mean, why don't we just turn it off? Honestly.
Yeah,
Like, I think that's probably because we want to pick up everything, right?
I think so.
Like, we don't want ever to not have it.
You might hear
us
some
up.
sirens in the street, but other than that,
Yeah, you might have some sirens, stuff like that, but okay.
Yeah.
Now you'll hear the music. You'll hear everything. We're pretty much good to go.
All right.
So this is our, if you didn't know, this was our inaugural Date Night and Dragon stream. Post-edit audio cleanup will get rid of the muddiness. Okay.
Ah, neat.
Remember to turn it back on. Yes, I absolutely will, Lastiel. Thank you very much. That will be important. Okay. So this is a stream where basically I picked up the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition Essentials kit, which comes with the Dragon of Icespire Peak campaign guide, as well as some rules for how to run a campaign one-on-one. And we thought it would be really, really fun for Kayleigh and I to just play, just the two of us.
Yeah.
And use the sidekick system so that she doesn't get overpowered right
Not
away.
that I would.
Not that you would, although
I'm sure I can handle it.
your character does only have 9 hit points.
Yeah, I know, that's not a lot.
That's
I
not-
feel like that's a mistake that D&D
I know,
made.
yeah.
And not me. Yeah.
And so we figured it would be fun. This is my first time DMing a D&D 5th edition campaign.
Yeah, this one's not just from your noggin.
No, I've been DMing for a long time now, but it's all in my brain hole.
Yeah.
And I've played D&D 5th edition,
Yep.
so I know a lot of the rules from the player side, but as for like DM side,
Totally different game.
totally different game.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be cool.
Mar37 is fixed now. Thank you very much, Yendar. Oh god. It's okay. I almost pulled the camera off, but I didn't. So I think why don't we start with maybe Kayleigh, tell us a little bit about your character that you're gonna play.
Okay.
Just a little bit of a background on your character.
Not like a full too deep kind of thing.
I mean,
a little
I think you can give us
smidgen.
a chunk.
Okay.
Bite us off a piece of that character a bit.
Oh, well. Her name is Delia Burrows. She goes by the Chickadee as her stage name. She's a halfling female. I'm looking on my D&D Beyond thing, which is very different on the phone.
Hey guys, would you mind checking? Is there a button to click like right here or something for like the overlay? I think the D&D Beyond. No. Well, fuck.
we
Well, fuck, guys.
son of a.
Fucking shit. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix that. Add extension.
It's very important.
It's very important. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your character?
Right. Yeah, so she's like tall for a halfling, but still quite small, being that she is, as I said, a halfling. She's got like dark brown hair and kind of like a warm, tawny beige sort of skin tone. Her parents, Virginia and Elton, are very serious and practical folk. Their only wants in life are a well-timed rain and a good loam. They're farmers. And their firstborn, Ophelia, learned that attitude pretty early on and is happily following on in the family's farming tradition. But Delia, the youngest, was a terrible farmer, just always. But her theatrical streak, I should say, did sprout early. Her theatrical streak did. Virginia, her mom, would often catch Delia in the middle of a garden patch, soil untilled, plants wilting, playing out epics with turnips. But when retelling traditional halfling stories, Delia would always add a touch of drama. It got to be so that she was the one that the village would turn to on holidays or on rainy evenings at pubs. Her parents would look on fondly, if a bit embarrassed. But her sister, playing stern, would often assist from the crowd, calling out prompts or heckles in turn. Eventually, though, Delia began to yearn for new stories and new audiences. So she left home at 60, barely out of the bassinet, still quite young. For the last 11 years, she's been traveling from town to town, weaving yarns and befriending the locals. She's traveled alone for a lot of that, and so she had to take care of herself. And in that, she learned to be quick with a dagger when a story wouldn't get her out of a pinch. So she's a rogue, if that didn't come across.
Yeah. And I now have confirmed that the D&D Beyond overlay is working. If you kind of mouse... So first of all, you'll need to refresh the stream. And if you refresh the stream, you can now click on the upper left-hand corner, and you can see the character sheet.
There we go.
Yeah, right? So now you can see Kayleigh's character. Right here.
Yeah.
Ish.
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there. So yeah, now you can see Kayleigh's character, and you'll be able to kind of follow it as we go, as long as we remember to update the character sheet at all.
That is the trick. That is the trick, yeah.
Okay, so that's Delia.
That's Delia.
And I think the way this campaign kind of starts is Delia spent a fair chunk of time in Neverwinter.
Yeah, it was she was drawn to that big city after her small, simple farming upbringing. So Neverwinter was very appealing.
Yeah, Neverwinter's like the place to be. That's my DM screen.
Stuff is happening then.
I've got hidden stuff back here. You can't see it. So the DM screen goes up. That's when we're going to kind of get ready for the game.
Cool.
So Delia spent some time in Neverwinter, met some fantastic, interesting folks, heard tales of the frontier town of Phandalin, where people were making fortunes pulling gold and platinum out of the mountain.
Yeah.
And it was I don't think Delia's ever been interested in war necessarily. There's battles and wars aplenty. And whether you're telling stories there or being up front in the battle, I don't think Delia's ever really been interested in these war kind of battlefronts. And so hearing about the mystery and excitement of Phandalin.
Yeah, especially all the different types of people that were drawn there.
Yeah. That's what kind of drew Delia to travel to Phandalin. And we have a map, which I'm not sure how well it's going to show up. It might be kind of invisible.
Glary.
So Neverwinter is here.
Okay.
And that's kind of where Delia's been for the past while. And then Delia heard that you could travel south along the high road. South along the high road until it met the Tribor Trail. Travel around 20 miles along the Tribor Trail, and then head south again, and you would get to Phandalin. Right on the Sword Coast, at the foot of the Sword Coast Mountains, and that's where all the happening was. So that is when Delia decided to make for Phandalin.
Yeah.
For adventure. But she did not go alone, as in Phandalin, she met another individual, a dwarven man, who was offering his services as kind of muscle for hire, protection where it was needed, or heavy lifting. Just kind of a rough and tumble guy who was ready to help out and advertised as being good in a fight.
Yep.
And you figured, you could use a pair of eyes watching your stuff, and that, it never hurts to have an extra pair of sturdy hands in case you found yourself with too much money to carry, or too many people who wanted to carry it away from you.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And that is when you met Balrin.
Oh, hey!
You met Balrin, who was a dwarven paladin, and he offered his services for a very reasonable fee, and he traveled with you throughout Neverwinter, because that's kind of where he was making his money.
Yeah.
And over the course of your shows and your travelings, you had personalities that meshed well together. For all the monkas in chat, I'm just gonna say this is not the same Balrin. This is not the same Balrin. I'm gonna dispel any fears right now.
Okay, great.
Yeah, to the viewers and to Kayleigh.
Okay. Last Balrin had a little bit of a
Last Balrin was a paladin of Bane, and he played nice while having the ultimate goal of killing everybody. This is not that Balrin. This is alternate universe Balrin.
It's a very common name.
Exactly. But this is kind of the same guy, just in an alternate universe.
Yeah.
He does not serve the Dark God Bane.
Okay.
He does not have an ulterior motive. I know it might be neat to wonder if Delia's partner is going to turn on her, but I kind of want to dispel that right now.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want that to be a part of this, because this is supposed to be a fun thing.
Not as scary.
This is supposed to be a fun thing for Kayleigh and I. And I think setting your sidekick and your traveling partner to be the person who stabs you in the back is a shitty way that's a shitty way for us to play the game.
Okay, yeah.
And I think that would be a major bummer. I would feel bad about that.
Good.
So
yeah.
Nobody worry, that's not what I want to do here.
Okay.
Balrin is a legitimately good person for Delia. Whether or not his morals totally line up with what she wants, that's yet to be seen, and that's the same with any character. But he's not a bad guy. He's not a lawful evil character. Right. He's not any measure of evil. And he's in no way going to backstab. At least not right. If I change my mind later on, I'm going to leave that open, right?
Okay, yeah.
If it seems to fit narratively. But right now, I think it would be a not fun thing to do.
Right.
To have him backstab Delia.
Okay.
So just so you guys know, the plan is for Balrin to act as the sidekick, which is an actual party member. It's as if we had another player here, and that player may want to backstab the other party member, but especially in a group of two, that would not be. So just I want to dissuade everyone's fears.
Cool.
Balrin is a legitimately good dude who's been helping Delia. He started really digging her stories. He loved her sense of adventure. And when Delia said that she was leaving Neverwinter, he suggested that he come with her.
Yeah.
It's
a long road.
It's a long road, and he offered to basically offer his services at no expense, but also like a partnership rather than a hire, right?
Yeah.
He would no longer be in your employ.
Okay.
You guys would be partners. Okay. So
Okay.
you would split the winnings, you'd split the costs, You'd split everything. You'd be partners in this.
Nice. That sounds good. And the sidekick thing is something with this new edition of D&D.
Yeah, sidekick's been around for a little while,
okay.
but they've never really fleshed it out. And so the way sidekick works, and we're already changing it. The way sidekick works is you get a fighter, a spellcaster, or something else, a ranger, something like that. And I didn't like that because I want Balrin to actually be a paladin, and we may actually find a way to put Balrin's character
that'd be cool.
on the D&D Beyond thing. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
we may have both of them. I want him to be an actual character. Hirelings is earlier versions. Okay, hirelings.
Okay.
Second edition is followers. Okay, so this is like a beefed up sidekick.
Yeah.
Because Balrin's basically an actual character. He has AC, hit points, spell slots, all that stuff. We may fudge them a little bit. So if you notice me use a spell more times than Balrin has spell slots for, don't yell at me. He's there for narrative's sake and balance.
Yeah,
So don't yell at me if Balrin breaks the rules a little bit. He is, after all, a god in another universe,
I
okay?
mean, he doesn't know it.
He doesn't know it, but
Yeah.
some of that power may have bled over
There
a
we
little
go.
bit. Maybe he can break some rules. So. Hello, by the way, and good evening to all. Hello. Spirit channels. Yell at you loudly. Don't yell at me. But yeah, so you travel to Phandalin in search of adventure and new stories and some money to make, because like the stories you heard is like dwarven prospectors literally pulling gold and platinum right out of the ground. Like it's just sitting there ready to be taken. So
it's like a gold rush.
It's a gold rush.
Yeah.
And so you wanted to get in there and see if you can't make a buck. Either you tell some stories and they've got some extra money to throw around, or you go out, maybe see if you can dig up some of this gold.
If it's just in the river or whatever.
Right, exactly, yeah. So you figured it was worth a travel, and Balrin traveled with you.
Excellent.
I'm gonna take a sip of courage juice.
Nice. Does Balrin still eat most of his food out of his beard? Like he puts it in his beard first and then he eats it?
Yeah, so
Okay.
When Balrin has utensils and cutlery available, he makes a decision.
Okay.
If he's going to be responsible for cleaning the bowls and the pots and everything,
Yes.
he usually just kind of pulls his beard out in front of him and he kind of punches down the middle so that it forms kind of like this big bowl in his beard, and he fills that with food, and then he just kind of like shovels it out of the bowl into his mouth.
That's great. All right.
Right? And then a little bit of water on the beard, and it's pretty much, it's clean enough for him.
Why not? Yeah.
If
Even
it's
just
like
a bit of wind, I bet.
even a bit of wind, there you go. But at like restaurants or something like that, where somebody else is going to be cleaning the dishes for him, he'll gladly eat out of bowls and all that, no problem.
Yeah, okay.
It's the bowl beard is a practical decision,
I understand.
right?
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Not a gross decision at all.
Not a gross decision
No,
at
no.
all. No.
Just good thinking decision.
Exactly. I'm just gonna try to pop out chat because it's hidden behind
The microphone thing?
the microphone thing for me.
Is that better?
Okay, that now I can actually read chat. There we go.
Nice.
So yeah, so Balrin does still use the trademarked bowl beard,
Thank
beard
God,
bowl.
I was
Yeah.
so worried.
Work smarter, not harder. Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, the two of you travel to the town of Phandalin.
Yes.
And when you get there,
New map thing.
new map, you see this.
Ooh.
Ooh, it's kind of
Do you wanna
see-through.
go like this? Is that okay?
Yeah, I can pull this back a bit too.
There we go.
So that's the town of Phandalin, and I know, I'm sorry for the glare, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry for the glare. It doesn't really matter. All that matters for you is to get a rough idea. And it's mostly going to be Kayleigh telling us where she wants to go, Delia telling us where she wants to go, and I will then describe how they get there, what it looks like, stuff like that. So
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Okay.
the map, if you can't see it, it's not important. If this is a podcast, It's not that
Yeah,
important.
if you're just listening, that's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, I'm not going to worry then.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, chat.
Yeah, so basically, you get to Phandalin.
Okay, from here. From the Tribord Trail.
Yep, from the Tribord Trail. And
then from the north.
that's where we hit our first description. Story time. Nestled in the rocky foothills of the snow-capped Sword Mountains is the mining town of Phandalin, which consists of 40 or 50 simple log buildings. Crumbling stone ruins surround the newer houses and shops, showing how this must have been a much larger town in centuries past. Phandalin's residents are quiet, hard-working folk who came from distant cities to eke out a life amid the harsh wilderness. They are farmers, stonecutters, blacksmiths, traders, prospectors, and children. The town has no walls and no garrison, but most of the adults keep weapons within easy reach in case the need for arms should arise. Visitors are welcome here, particularly if they have coin to spend or news to share. The Stone Hill Inn at the center of town offers modest lodging and meals, and a couple of doors down from the inn, posted outside the townmaster's hall, is a job board for adventurers. And you arrive at this town at the base of the Sword Mountains.
Yes.
And yeah, you see a lot of crumbling stone around you. You see, like, outlines of how big the city used to be.
Yeah.
You see some houses built inside of old houses. Like,
cool.
like there's like a, there maybe used to be a giant stone mansion.
Yeah.
Right? But the person who's now in that spot only needed a small shed.
Yeah.
Right? Small lodging. And so it's a little wooden shed inside of a giant stone outline of what used to be a giant mansion. And it's probably, I guess, would you have traveled during, you get to choose what time of day you arrive at. Would you arrive in the morning when people are waking up? Would you arrive midday when people are bustling about? Or would you arrive at night? Midday.
Yep.
So when you arrive at town, people are busy.
Yeah.
You see people going in and out of many buildings. One building in particular, you see quite a number of very clearly prospectors. People have big old bags of ore, or they've got wheelbarrows or carts full of gleaming gold and platinum. And like, you can see people who in a single wheelbarrow have enough ore to basically be done for their life. They're,
oh my gosh.
Like, they are really hauling lifetimes worth of money out of this mountain.
Man.
And you see, I mean, you can see the different names of the places there, but I'll read them out.
Okay.
There's one shop closest to where you're entering in, called Barthen's Provisions.
Is that where the people are really coming in and out of?
No, there's a couple people coming in and out of there, but most of the people there, there's not many people going in and out of there. They're buying things.
Sure.
It's not so much a trading post as much as it is an actual general store.
Okay.
So they come out with lengths of rope. They come out with bags or new shovels. That's basically what you see coming out of Barthen's Provisions. And not many people are going in there with sacks of raw ore. Most of them are going in there with bags of actual money.
I see. Okay.
Further down the road, you can see, I guess, let's kind of treat this like you're actually coming down the road.
Yeah, as I'm walking down, yeah.
As you're walking down the Tribord Trail into Phandalin proper, you see Barthen's Provisions to your left, and further down the very rough-shod streets, these are ancient roads that have been overgrown, but they couldn't be completely overgrown because they were so hard used. And now they're kind of newly worn. So it's this weird look of a newly worn track on top of an old road.
That's very cool. So like the stones are, I imagine it was paved a little back when it was very bustling. And then now it's kind of like mostly dirt and plant debris smushed down.
Exactly.
But you can see the paving stones underneath.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And you see some living dwellings to the left and right further down the road. And at the very, very end, you can just kind of see a bit of a pile of stones set very deliberately. These are not old stones. These are new, deliberately placed stones.
Okay. Well, I see as I go, because my first stop as a entertainer would be to try and see if I can trade some performance for a night at an inn kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, but I see that right by the inn is this interesting pile of stones. So just as a sightseer in a new town,
Yeah.
I'd like to stop by and say, "Oh, Boren, look at that big pile of rocks. That seems neat. Should we go check in on those rocks? Let's check those rocks."
All right. Are you sure? I mean, the first thing that we want to do in a town is go look at the big pile of rocks they've got in the middle of town.
Well, we probably want to be able to talk about the wonderful sights that they have. Oh, it's good to be complimenting new friends.
That's a good point. All right. Why don't we go check out this big pile of rocks, see if there's something interesting there? Why not? And you guys would like to make your way to this. I mean,
It's right across. So I
it's
figure,
right
yeah,
across.
Why don't I just take a look?
And on the map, it is labeled as Shrine of Luck. So it seems maybe like it might be super interesting, but I sure adventurous. I think that would be worth looking into. So you guys walk up to this thing that is called the Shrine of Luck, but you don't know that.
Right. Okay. Got it.
And it really legitimately is a semicircle of stones, maybe about 10 feet high, so it makes almost like a little alcove.
Okay.
Semicircle alcove of placed stones. And in the middle of those is more placed stones. It's just a little what's the like Inuit thing, the Inukshuk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like an Inukshuk, except it's not meant to look like a person.
Okay. Got
It's
it.
deliberately placed stones, but not in the shape of anything.
Like a Stonehenge.
It's almost like a Stonehenge. Well, no, it's just like they're piled on top of each other.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like stones placed on top of each other, but
Okay.
they don't line up perfectly. They're not all of one shape or size.
Huh.
They're just, but they've obviously been placed on top of each other.
Is there a plaque describing?
No, there's nothing.
Okay. Is there anyone around who
There-
seems to be?
There's no one here.
Oh.
It's just this little alcove of placed stones
Huh.
with an opening in the middle where there's another set of placed stones.
Okay.
And there's no one here. You can see a little bit of, well, and you know what? Why don't you roll a perception check?
Oh, I would love to do that. Okay. So I would do a d20.
Yeah,
What do I add to it? Wisdom?
whatever your perception bonus is.
Oh. Oh yeah. It's nothing. The
It's
bonus is
nothing? Hold on.
It's 2.
You created a rogue who that's not proficient.
Yes. Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
Okay. No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine.
I got a 2. Is that good?
It's pretty bad.
Okay.
So I don't know if you even see the pile of stones in the middle of this alcove.
my stone's just on the outside, and then it just stops.
Why don't you roll? You know what? Why don't I roll a d20?
Oh, as Balrog.
That's Balrin. Why doesn't Balrin take a little bit of a look here? Ha! Balrin
9.
gets a 9, and he also doesn't have anything adding to his bonus.
Oh no.
So I think this is 2 brand new, fresh-faced individuals walking into the town of Phandalin, and you see this like this neat pile of rocks, and both of you are just like you're kind of impressed with this pile of rocks.
Kind of mouths open.
Yeah,
It's like, wow, those sure are rocks.
yeah, and
Okay.
you can't really make out why they're here or what purpose they serve.
Yeah.
And there's no one here, and that does seem a little weird. I'll say
Yeah.
you don't gather much but it seems weird that there's absolutely no one here.
When everywhere else seems busy. Like
Yeah.
There's lots of people around.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like anybody's avoiding it. It's not
Oh,
like people
okay.
path long circles around it or anything like that. It's just that nobody's stopping at it, nobody stands at it, nobody attends it. It's just like,
Has anyone looked at us strangely for stopping at it?
no,
Okay.
nobody seems to care.
It's just the kind of place. It's just a place that's
Yeah,
there.
basically.
Okay.
Yeah. You know that it's the Shrine of Luck because you see it on the
I
map.
can see right there. It says. Okay. Yeah.
But your characters, this is just a pile of rocks.
Mystery.
Just a mystery.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, then I think I would, after gazing upon it, I would like to go into what I see. Is there like a sign outside that says
Yeah.
it's an inn?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I definitely like to go into the inn.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are standing around, and as you're looking at the rocks, and then you just kind of look around to see if anybody is in charge of these rocks.
Yeah. Who's looking after these rocks?
Who's looking after these rocks? You do see a rather large building
Okay.
that is very clearly labeled with a big wooden sign out front, kind of held up with these two chain hinges. As the sign kind of swings back and forth a little bit, it says Stone Hill Inn.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Boren, that's I think our venue for the night. Let's go check in and see if they have some room for us.
All right. Do you know which story you're going to try to tell for a discount on the room?
Oh, do you mean? Oh, I see. You're not saying what do you think I'll do in the performance? You're saying how do I sweet talk the innkeep?
Well, what kind of performance? Which story do you think these hardened adventurers and wilder folk would like to hear?
I think they'd most like to hear about probably something grand. Maybe there's a dragon or some sort of sea monster. Sea monster. You know what?
Sea monster.
It's a sea monster kind of town, I think.
That's pretty fair. They're a little away from the ocean, so they
All
maybe
the more
some of
fantastical.
exactly. Maybe
Yeah.
they have never seen a sea monster. I don't really remember the one about the sea monster.
Oh, have I not told you the sea monster story?
Are you sure you have a sea monster story?
Oh, I'm sure I'll think of something by the time I'm up there, Boren.
All right. I like that. I get that.
Have you ever known me to fall flat in front of an audience?
Well, there was that one time.
We don't talk about that.
No,
one
of
time.
course we don't talk about that.
That
Never.
one time was pretty bad, though.
It was hard to watch. And you guys walk up to a modest 2-story roadhouse. And as you walk in, there's it's not very busy in the middle of the day. You know, there's not a lot of people traveling through here,
Oh, okay.
right? People either live here
Huh.
and they work here,
Yeah.
or they're leaving here. But it's not really on the way to much. So there's not a lot of business going on during the middle of the day. You imagine people at night, probably people in the morning, but in the middle of the day, you just see the one individual who you assume is the tavern keep. Just going to grab.
Oh, that's a person.
Well, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe it's someone else. You see a human man, short for humans.
Okay.
You guys can see too much.
Secret
You're
note.
not allowed to see that. It's a shrine of bad luck for them?
Yeah,
Basically, yep. So you see a person who is a little bit short for a human, but Balrin is not a tall dwarf. He's a very medium-sized dwarf. So Balrin is considerably shorter than this man.
Mm-hmm.
And as a halfling, you're a little bit shorter than Balrin is. So
Yeah.
the guy's actually, he's short for a human, but he's still got a bit of height on you.
large, yeah.
Yeah, he's a little bit large compared to you. But he's got kind of a kind face. Not a smile, right? But you can see on his face that it would smile, right?
Okay.
His face looks like a smile waiting to happen.
Oh,
kind of thing.
wonderful.
And the inn is it's mostly lit by daylight, so there's not a lot of hearth light in here. The lanterns are mostly extinguished. The windows are drawn open, and the fire is quite low. It's relatively warm, and so there's no need for a big hearth. And it's just kind of a quiet day. There's maybe one or two people having a drink.
Okay.
But other than that, just this individual at the front desk looks like a kind man.
Okay. Excellent. Well, Delia walks on, goes straight to the tavern keep, and says, "Hello, good sir. My name is Delia Burrows, at your service." She gives a kind of jaunty salute and a wink. Oh, hello.
Oh, Miss Burrows, it's a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. What brings you all the way here to Fandlin?
Well, sir, I am an adventuring performer, and my friend here punches things sometimes, and sometimes he heals things, but mainly punches, but in a nice way, I should say.
I'm a dwarf of many tricks. What an interesting thing for you to say. That's a kind of a hired muscle there, is he?
Well, it's dangerous sometimes on the roads, you know.
Yes, I understand. I'm actually quite impressed that perhaps just the two of you thought it was safe enough. I've heard some rather unsettling tales, you see.
Well, we made it here all the way from Neverwinter, actually. We came by the high road, and then we took, of course, the Triboard Trail. And it was pretty fine. Nothing really happened. We had some, brushes with some suspicious trees, but no actual run-ins.
No run-ins on the Triboard Trail. I must say that's a rare occurrence. You see, I've heard that there've been orcs coming down from the mountains.
Oh my.
And they've been preying on the lowlands. I'm a little bit surprised that you were doing all right, because I gotta tell you, if Neverwinter doesn't send help soon, I think these orcs will overrun Fandolin. They'll destroy everything we've been working here. And I've heard that the Triboard Trail isn't all that safe these days.
Oh my goodness. Had we seen anything on our way here that made it seem like?
I think by the story that you told,
No.
you wove in between it. You saw nothing,
Yeah.
nothing too dangerous. It was a relatively kind of an uneventful trip for you guys. So you were not aware of any
Yeah.
orc things.
Well, we didn't see anything ourselves and heard no tales of distress from anyone on our way, but I'm terribly sorry to hear that. I can't imagine Neverwinter would withhold help, though. I've never known that city to be that sort of type.
No, I agree. I've always known Neverwinter to be, well, I mean, let's be honest here. Neverwinter kind of looks out for Neverwinter's best interests.
Well, certainly.
But there's so much money to be made here. I would have thought for sure Neverwinter would want to seek to protect its investments, at least.
At least, certainly. Well, speaking of making money, I think I could help you make a bit more.
Really?
Yes, of course. Well, you see, in my travels, I've gathered many tales and songs that I would love to share with you and your patrons, and in exchange for a room and maybe some food. But I think I would bring in quite the crowd for you.
Well, that's quite interesting indeed. Now, I'm sure that your stories are at least worth a meal, but are you sure they're really worth a whole room? How much business do you often bring in for your stories and your tales?
Oh, well, standing room only. I must say, generally it is standing room only, because it's not just the stories. And then I want to take out some balls and do some juggling tricks and try and dazzle them and
Okay.
show them some of my tricks.
Why don't you make a persuasion
Ooh, persuasion.
persuasion check?
Ooh, that's +4. I will make that.
Oh boy.
17.
17 plus 4. Okay. I guess that's
21.
kind of against his insight. is
okay.
what he kind of rolls against. 21. Wow. Yep, absolutely. So you rolled a 17 plus 4 is 21. He got a 15 plus nothing.
Okay.
Just a straight 15. So as you're kind of doing this juggling and you're kind of explaining how like people come in and they can't even sit down, they're so packed in, his eyes kind of go wide and he says, all right, well, usually I would charge 5 silver pieces for a room, but if you can bring this much business in, I mean, you'll more than pay for your all the meals and room that you need. So I'll tell you what, you do one performance every night. And if you are as successful as you say you are, I'll give you the bed and the meal for free. But I think it's only fair to say that if you can't quite live up to your claims, and people are not as enthralled with your stories as you say they will be, I'll still give you the meals for free. But I will have to charge you a discounted rate for the room, perhaps maybe 2 or 3 silver.
A fair and honorable deal. And I hold my hand up to shake his hand, but it's like way. I imagine he's very, very much taller than me, so I'm just kind of like pointing at the top of the cabinet, the counter. Kind of
Yeah. No, he kind of reaches down and shakes your hand, which is weird for him, being short as normal to reach down.
Yeah.
So now you have.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so we'd love to go take a look around your fine town. For instance, we saw on our way in a fascinating pile of rocks. They were rocks in a pile. I've never seen such a thing. Tell me more about this pile of rocks.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but there are quite a lot of rocks in Phandalin, and many of them do come in piles. You see, there used to be a larger city here, made larger of stone, and there's a little bit of stone left over. So I'm not really sure which pile of rocks you're talking about. Could you be a little bit more specific, perhaps?
This one seems more deliberate and more recently placed. So I think it's not a ruin so much as an on purpose.
Are you talking about just outside the inn, just over there? And
Yes.
he kind of like points through the window.
That would have been easier if I did.
He's like, do you mean that right there?
Yes. Oh, yes, exactly. That's the one.
Oh, that's the Shrine of Luck. Sister Garael usually looks over it, but she's been out of town recently.
Oh, sorry, I had to pick up my notebook. Garael.
Yeah. G-A-R-A-E-L-E.
Okay. Shrine of Luck. What's this guy's name? I've forgotten already. Because I'm rude.
You haven't asked.
Oh my god, I am rude.
Oh, no, you did. Well, you introduced yourself.
I introduced myself and he didn't say anything.
He didn't introduce himself.
And I didn't want to get, like, weird about it.
Yeah.
So he's rude.
He is very rude.
Well, thank you so much, sir. And what do I'd love to, I don't know what to say. Thank you personally. Who are you?
And because I feel like I've suddenly been rude by not introducing myself, I am Toblin Stonehill. This is the Stonehill Inn. I run it. I apologize for my rudeness earlier by not introducing myself.
Oh, not at all. Don't worry about it. My friend Bowler, he often kind of dazzles people and gets them to forget their manners.
Yeah, by the way, my name's Baldrin. I'm not sure if I said that, or if maybe Delia said that. But if not, my name's Baldrin. I wasn't really listening. It smells like you've got good sausages here. Yes, we've got relatively good sausages. There's wild boar in the mountains, and we turn them into sausage every night, and they're quite tasty.
I can't say no to that. Love a good bull sausage.
Of course, yes, and we'll have them fresh and hot just after sundown every day.
Oh, wonderful. Well, good Toblin, sir. We'd love to just drop our bags for now, and then explore your fine town a little further. Maybe drum up some excitement about tonight's show.
Yes, of course. We've got a room on the upper floor. We've got a couple rooms, just to go in, choose one. at your will, and let me know which room you've chosen. I'll make sure to mark it off my list.
Oh, certainly. Thank you. Okay. I'd like to, just hop upstairs.
Yep.
And just drop our stuff.
Yep.
I don't really want to share a room with Ballroom, but I don't want to pay for 2 rooms. So try and find one that has a kind of nice alcove where we can. It's like there's privacy at least.
Yeah. I think you guys kind of walk into the room, and you see that there's one bed there. The bed doesn't look super comfy, but it's for sure a bed for one.
Oh, great.
And but it's got a little bit of space, and there's like a table and a little bit of an alcove. And like Balrin looks at the room, he looks at the bed clearly for one, and he walks over and he kind of pulls the table out of the alcove, and he throws like the traveling sack full of all your warm clothes and your some of your extra blankets and some of your mini cloaks of patches, big soft bag full of clothes, and he throws that down and he kind of flops on top of it, and he kind of wiggles around and makes himself kind of comfortable on it.
Go. Perfect. That's great. Because at the same time, Delia went in and threw her bag on the bed and said, "Dibs."
yeah. I think like as you say dibs, Balrin knows exactly what the deal is with these, and until he can sing and dance for the accommodations,
Come on.
he'll be happy with a free room, sleeping on top of the warm clothes.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
And it's a relatively nondescript room, dark hardwood floors. Small roughshod bed with a relatively thin mattress and a single pillow. Just a little window with the 4 cross thing, whatever panel thing.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Looks like the Windows key on your computer.
Yeah.
One of those things.
Yeah. Classic window.
Classic window.
Leading. Is it leading? Anyway.
And
with window.
good room has wall now with window. Exactly. Yeah. You got the deluxe suite now with window.
Very good. Very good. Okay. And does it look? I would like to just take a quick look around, especially after being used to traveling by myself for a good while before Balrin and before having someone to look over my shoulder for me kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just want to just check around and check the security. It's got a lock that functions. It's got there's no big holes in the wall that folks can see through.
Okay, why don't you roll an investigation check?
Oh, okay.
Also, I think I might want to move the map. I think I'd rather maybe keep the map on your side, because I have a map for myself.
Ah.
And you can just consult the map for yourself.
Okay. That sounds good.
Just so that we don't rely too much on the viewers having to look at it, just in case they're just listening.
Fair enough.
Or if it's a podcast, I'd rather you look at it, I look at it, and I'll describe it as narratively as I can.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm making an investigation check.
An investigation check.
Check for scary things in the rooms. Also checking under the bed in case of leftover badness.
Okay. Leftover badness. Are you checking for new badness?
No. Just
okay.
leftover.
All right.
How could it be new? I just got there. Okay. It's a 5.
It's a 5.
Plus 1 is 6.
Okay. Boy.
Yeah.
So you check the door to see if it has a lock. And it seems like it's locked. It seems like it locks.
Excellent, yeah.
But then you can't open it.
Oh, dang.
And you suddenly realize you have now locked yourself inside your room. Until you realize that it's a pull and not a push.
Okay.
And also it doesn't have a lock.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's not locked at all.
Okay.
You just investigated it so poorly that you forgot which way the door swings.
Boy. It's one of those trick doors. It's one of those trick ones. You never know with these.
Yep. All right. Yeah. Trick door. Got
trick
it.
Door.
Yeah.
Just a regular trick door.
All right.
Don't look over here.
I won't look. That's okay. I believe you. Under the bed, there's a big, spooky, scary monster.
Oh no!
And then you realize that it's just some dust bunnies.
Oh, that is spooky.
And I don't know what else you can see with a really bad investigation check.
Okay. The sheets seem really clean.
The sheets seem
totally good and fine.
Unbelievably clean.
Mm-hmm.
These must be shipped to Neverwinter every day and press cleaned and shipped back. They're so immaculate.
So clean.
and the bugs on them are part of the decor.
They're just in the part, like a pattern on the fabric.
Exactly.
Actual bugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, they basically, you don't see anything bad in the room.
Okay.
But you do notice that the door doesn't seem to lock.
Okay. Ballroom, it looks like this doesn't actually lock.
All right. I mean, we could just like put a wedge
chair?
in front of
Yeah.
it.
I was thinking wedge.
If we're really, we could keep watch at night. That seems like a terrible
I
plan,
don't
but
really want to do that. But are there any pieces of furniture that seem like heavy that we could just shove in front of it, like an armoire?
I think you guys you try the table to wedge there and it doesn't quite reach. You try a chair and it doesn't really fit there, and then Ballroom kind of grabs his sword.
Huh.
And he just props the hilt underneath it and digs the blade into the ground. He's like, all right, there, that'll
Damn
do
it.
it.
Well done, sir. Well done. Okay. Wonderful. So,
Right.
yeah, just drop the step and then head back on down.
Yeah, and I think when you guys go to leave, Ballroom Ballroom goes to open the door and he's like, wait, the door does lock. Yep. No, it's totally locked. But we're locked in. We can't. Oh, no, sorry, it's a push, not a pull. That's my bad. That's all right. I misunderstood. It's a trick door, like you said.
It's a trick door.
It's a trick door.
Isn't it?
All right, I got it.
Oh my goodness, this door.
All right, and you guys leave the Stonehill Inn.
Excellent. On the way out,
Yes.
I'd like to check in with Toadlin again.
Yes.
And just ask him. Well, I guess I'll just say, well, Toadlin, the room is very agreeable. We're in room 3. We took
Room 3. Yes, of
Yeah.
course. Yes. All right, I'll knock that off.
Lovely room, thank you.
It's
and
the room with the window, isn't it?
It's very nice.
Yes.
The window is excellent.
Just had the windows installed. They're quite nice.
Quite nice. It's even got walls.
All 4 walls. Yes. Yes.
Great room.
It's the best inn in town, and of course, it is also the only inn in town. But I do credit myself on it being the best.
Well, you've earned it, certainly, with those windows. I wanted to ask, we've only just arrived in town. Is there anything that we should know about the goings on? Any alleys we should avoid, or any places we should be sure to check out?
Well, so there's definitely the problem with the orcs. They've been coming down closer and closer to Fandolin. We fight them off every now and then. The orcs are quite a problem. And, well, I don't mean to scare you off, but it sounds like perhaps as an adventurer as yourself, there has been a dragon in the relatively near area. Some people claim to have seen it on the mountain. Some people have claimed to see it even on the Tribord Trail, honestly. Some people have seen it even 15, 20, 30 miles away from town. Now, it has never made an attack on town, and we're not really sure it may be passing through, but the mayor of the town, one Mr. Harbin Wester, has gone completely insane. He is so terrified that this dragon will attack the town that he has locked himself in the mayor's house, in the town master's hall. He refuses to come outside, except once every couple days to get some groceries, and once every couple days to post some notices on the job board, desperately requesting that somebody deal with this problem.
On mention of a dragon, Delia's face, totally straight-faced, just looks very slowly to Balrin and makes eye contact kind of thing.
Yeah.
And looks back at Toadlin
Yeah.
and says, "Oh, a dragon? Oh, what?"
Yes. I've never seen it myself. I've heard sounds coming from the hills, but I've heard the orcs make terrifying sounds, so I can't be sure if it's just the orcs or I don't know. Sometimes the snowdrifts whip up in a frenzy. They say it's a white dragon, and I just can't be sure myself, honestly. I'm not too worried. I mean, I'm a little bit worried.
I mean, who wouldn't be?
I'm a little bit worried.
Such happenings. Well, that's lovely. Thank you for letting me know about your town and about these terrible things that are probably happening.
Yes, no problem. But I mean, if you survive the high road and the Tribord Trail, all by the two of you, I'm sure you're strong enough.
I'm sure we'll bring that luck your way as well, good sir.
That is fantastic news. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Well, we're gonna go take a look around, and we wish you a good afternoon.
Yes, you as well. I might suggest stopping by the Townmaster's Hall if you're looking for some gold to make, with maybe perhaps a little bit of adventure of your own. The Townmaster's Hall does have a job board outside. You could check it to see if there's anything that tickles your fancy.
Oh, lovely, thanks.
But
Good
it's not.
looking out, Toby.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for your, I guess not yet to be patronage, but hopefully soon to be.
Oh, just you wait, good sir. Just you wait.
Of course.
Awesome. And then we walk outside. But as soon as we're outside, I grab Ballerin by the shoulders and I say, "A dragon! An actual dragon! This is the best!"
Oh yes, of course. This is the best. I'm so excited to find a dragon that could definitely maybe eat us.
Can you imagine the stories we're going to get out of this one? First hand, first person, protagonists.
All right. Well, maybe let's not be the first person. Let's maybe we hear this story about some other people who killed it. Have you ever fought a dragon before?
Well, no, I probably won't fight it, but well, I mean, we'll be.
Have you ever
we'll be
seen a
leaving.
dragon?
Oh, I haven't so much seen a dragon as I had a dragon Peppa once. You know,
A dragon pepper?
Yeah, those little peppers that that they put in some soups.
All right, you're braver than I thought. All right.
Quite tasty. I mean, I did cry.
All
I
right.
did cry and I did sweat.
Okay, maybe perhaps you're just as tough as I thought then. But I'm not really. I don't know. I think a dragon's a little bit out of our pay grade.
Oh, you have little faith. Speaking of pay grade, though, why don't we just go check on out that job board? That could help us.
Yes, yeah, sure. Why don't we check out the job board? Maybe they've got quests other than killing a dragon.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't start with that.
I agree. Maybe starting with killing a dragon isn't a great idea.
Not the best.
Yes,
Maybe they have something like rats or something. Let's start small.
rats would be great. I've killed 100 rats before.
At least. Okay, so we walk over to
Consult your map and
yeah.
see if there's anything else you'd like to do
On the way.
on the way, or I don't want to railroad you or anything like that.
Well, we talked to the innkeep, and
Yes.
who was saying that. So I do think we'd want to take like a little lope around.
Mm-hmm.
So take the long way around to go see it. Also, I guess we don't know which way it is.
That's true. He did not give you any instructions on where it was.
No. So first we start walking. We head out of the inn.
Yeah.
And we turn left or whatever.
Yeah.
And we accidentally walk almost out of town.
You walk out of the. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
We walk almost
Okay.
entirely out of town.
So you leave the Stonehill Inn, and you to the right of you, you see that the Shrine of Luck, as you know that it's called.
Yeah.
In a little clearing, and since you've already been that way, you decide to head left down this kind of roughshod trail, and none of the buildings that you're seeing are labeled with anything, and they're very much decorated like homes. And by decorated, I mean like they
Look like
don't
it.
have decoration,
Yeah.
right? Like the building or the like storefronts have signs, right, and displays, and these have none of that, and you assume they're just living abodes.
Right.
And you just kind of keep walking and walking until the houses get a little bit smaller, and then you start seeing trees. And further ahead, you can't really see any buildings, but you figure maybe they're just around the bend. You go around the bend, and you see it's kind of a drop off a cliff into a forest, and it starts climbing up further up a hill, and you realize that you've kind of walked out of town.
Boren?
Yeah, what's up?
This is wrong, isn't it?
Are you sure?
No, yeah, it's wrong.
Are you sure that there's not them? Oh, all right, that's a cliff. That's some forest. I think we may have left town.
It's wrong. So we turn back.
Yeah, okay.
We walk back along. And then this time, instead of going left, we then take another left.
Yeah.
A better left. Down to and try and find the town master's hall.
Yeah. So you start walking back along the same road you were just walking along. You walk past those houses. Maybe one person in their window kind of watched you walk by one way, and they watch you start walking by the other way, and they kind of raise one eyebrow, wondering
I
what you...
forgot my keys. We're just going to get our keys.
And they watch you walk past. You walk past the stone hill inn again, and you kind of enter into that clearing in the more or less center of town. You see the Shrine of Luck there, with, again, nobody attending it. And you take a left, kind of through this clearing in the center of town. A couple more abodes, but there is one rather large building, and you realize that this is an important building. It's bigger than most of the rest, and you even see that on the far side of the building as you're looking kind of on the side of it, right? And as you can see across the other side of the building, there's a bell tower.
Okay.
And that looks very town hall-y, because it's the only building with a bell tower, and usually the town halls have the bell tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do I see the notice board there?
I think as you walk around, like you don't see a door in, so you kind of walk around and around until you kind of do another left turn again.
Keep it left.
And you realize that you were like basically looking at the back of the building from the one side. You walk all the way around. And sure enough, you do see the door leading into the town hall, and you do see the job board posted right beside it.
Is it just jobs, or are there little like ads for other things in town? I want to put up a flyer, try to drum up some business for the inn, so that people come see our show.
You see nails with little bits of scraps of paper on them, like somebody's been tearing them down.
Okay.
And there are only 3 notices on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Boren, this looks pretty well used, so it seems like people are looking at it a lot. And you know what that means. Grade A advertising. Here we go. And
All right, are you sure we shouldn't pay for it? Do we get free advertising on here?
I don't see a sign anywhere that says give 5 copper to, Jake for whatever.
I mean, all right, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and post it.
Excellent. And so I think I would have. I like business cards, but they're like concert posters.
Yeah.
And throw one up on the job board.
Yeah.
For checkout. Although I guess it wouldn't have the location. That's all the more mysterious, it's on purpose. It's on purpose.
I mean, you
it's
could
obscure.
if you wanted, maybe like you have
A pen?
you have a pen, like you leave a spot blank.
That makes sense.
Now coming at then it's blank. And then, because these are all written, like, there's no printing press.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So you had to
enough.
write all of these,
Okay,
right?
true. Okay.
And then you just left the spot blank.
Okay.
And you just kind of pen in
Perfect.
where the location is.
Stone
You quill
Hill Inn.
You quill it in.
Yes, exactly. I quill it in.
Yep.
Yeah. And I put that up on the job board.
Now, how do you put it on the job board?
One of those nails that had paper ripped
Yeah.
off it.
Yeah.
I take the nail out
Yeah.
with my hand.
Yep.
And then I just shove it in my paper and I put it back in the same hole.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And now there is an advertisement.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a small note of that.
Okay, I sure hope we don't get in trouble for putting a thing up there. What time of day is it? I don't want to put up an advertisement and then not be there for the show.
It's probably just after noonish kind of thing.
Okay, we got some time.
Yeah, you got some time. All right. Nobody can see what I'm writing, right? They can kind of see.
You can kind of see it.
They can kind of see. Can you guys read any of this?
I can't.
I don't think you guys can see it. No peeking. No peeking.
Oh yeah, you put the thing over.
No peeking.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Awesome. So I have some time. So, what are the jobs on the job board?
Yep, so there are 3 jobs on the job board. One of them is describing that there are some dwarven prospectors who found some ancient ruins in the mountains southwest of Phandalin. And they've begun an archaeological dig for treasure and relics. But the notice implores you to warn the prospectors that a white dragon has moved into the area.
Okay.
Take the warning to them, and then return to Townsmaster Harbin Wester to collect a reward of 50 gold pieces.
What? All right.
There is another quest on there that says that the local midwife, an acolyte of Chantea named Abadra Gwyn,
All right.
lives by herself in a stone windmill on the side of a hill a few miles south of Phandalin. With dragon sightings becoming common, it's not safe for her to be alone. Urge Adabra to return to Phandalin. Once she's safe, visit Townmaster Harbin Wester to claim a reward of 25 gold pieces.
Okay.
And the last notice on there is that a clan of reclusive rock gnomes reside in a small network of caves in the mountains to the southeast. The gnomes of Gnomengard are known for their magical inventions, and they might have something with which to defeat the dragon.
Ah.
Get whatever you can from them, and if you bring back something useful that you don't want to keep for yourselves, Townmaster Harbin Wester will pay you 50 gold pieces for it.
Okay.
Now, because I only had time to prepare for one of the quests, I would prefer. I think as you guys are looking at these,
Okay.
Bolarin says, "Hey, look, there's one to talk to dwarves. I'm a dwarf. Why don't we go talk to them? Because I feel like the rest of them aren't really all that well prepared for us." And Bolarin suggests that you go take the Dwarven excavation quest because your DM has not prepared the other quests for
What
you.
a good reason. Julia says, "Well, I've always been interested in archaeology. It's really just digging up stories, so I'm good with that."
That's a really good point. I was really just interested in the dwarves, but you made it poetic.
See, we've got it both. We're both working towards the same. Anyway, let's do this one. Before we go, though, is there... So we're outside the town hall, right?
Yeah.
Can I go in? What's in there?
Yeah, I just need to...
Maybe, we got some papers flying.
I got some papers flying. It's very hot in here. I get very sweaty when I get nervous. I just want to change the music a little bit because we got the same music going over and over again. So I want to play...
The whistle is getting to you?
The whistle. I want to play the Hunter's Path.
Oh, is that good or bad?
It's a good one. It's a very good one. It's very,
It's not like I'm gonna get eaten by a dragon?
I mean, that might happen. Well, I've had a bit of wine, and now apparently I can't find the Hunter's Path song.
You made it up.
It's called that, though.
I don't think it is.
Oh, it's literally the song above this one.
Ah!
There we go. Okay. There we go.
Okay.
I'm heading out, tired. We'll catch the VOD tomorrow. Have a great night. Thank you, Draco, for hanging out.
Yeah, good night, Draco.
Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful night. Tex got the meat sweats. I do got the meat sweats. Yeah, so Balarin and you have agreed.
We're taking the Dwarven excavation quest.
The Dwarven excavation quest. And you want to go into the town hall.
I would, yeah, before we... Yeah, just because we're right here.
Yeah.
Nice to see.
You push on the doors and they don't move.
Oh! I knock on the doors.
And inside you hear... or I guess... So first of all, the town's master's hall has sturdy stone walls, a pitched wooden roof, and a bell tower at the back. The job board next to the front door features a sparse numbers of notices, all written in common and in the same hand.
Okay.
And you knock on the door to the town hall, town master's hall, and you just hear a voice behind the door say, "Hello?
Oh, hello!
Hello?
Hello, may we speak with you?
Yes, of course, through the door."
Oh, alright, well that's fine. I think that's fine. Alright, Baldwin? You good with that?
It's a little bit weird. Can we come in? No, no one can come in.
Why can't people come
You
in?
might be a dragon.
Oh, is there anything I can do to assure you that I'm I'm not a dragon.
If you kill the dragon and bring their head here, I would be sure that you're not the dragon.
Ah. Okay. Well, we can't do that. So we'll just, I think through the door is fine then.
Yep. Because you're probably a dragon.
I'm not. We're not. I trust me. Who am I speaking with?
This is the townsmaster, Harbin Wester.
Oh, hello, Harbin. Those are your job postings out on the board there.
Yes, I'm trying to save everybody.
Oh, it's lovely. It's a very nice goal. But you know, in addition to needing saving, people need entertaining, especially in these troubled times.
I strongly disagree.
Uh,
I think they just need saving.
well, you know, so many of your job quests are to go and bring people out from the outskirts into the inskirts.
Yes, they need to be saved. They can't be outside.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with you. You know, one thing that could help draw people in? Entertainment.
All right.
Would it be all right with you if we just put up a little flyer on your job board?
No flyers on the job board. Only the jobs to save people.
This really is a thing to save people, though, when you think about it.
Roll a persuasion.
Okay, great.
Roll a persuasion check.
20. Okay. It's plus 4. Oh no! It's a critical
Okay.
one!
So that is a natural 1.
Oh.
That's about as bad as you can roll.
Yeah, it's not great, guys.
It's right.
It's very shiny, but
It's very shiny. I guess I'll have him roll an insight check. There's no real need unless he rolls a natural 1 as well.
Okay, fair enough. Nah, it's a 14.
That's a 14.
Yeah.
So,
It's not looking good.
I'm sorry, but I really can't permit any other job notices on the job board. It will interfere with the ultimate goal of getting people out of the path of the dragon.
Well, can't win them all. I do hope you will come by later tonight, though. You've earned some respite after all these responsibilities.
Does it mean coming out of the town out of the hall?
You know what you could do? You could just crack a window, and we'll be sure to sing very
Yes, so you
loudly.
could shoot your dragon magic in through the crack of the window. Nice try, dragon.
Okay.
Nice try. Not this time. This town's master's too smart for you. Crack a window. A likely story. Try again, dragon.
Delia's eyes are really wide, and she's making some expressive eyebrow movements at Ballroom, like,
Yeah.
"Daddy, that's what I'm gonna say."
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, Balrin is like returning the extreme gestures. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Well, you know, thank you for your help, and I do hope you do feel better soon.
Yes, I'll feel better when the dragon is dead.
Won't we all? All right, goodbye then.
Goodbye, dragon.
I want to go, and I want to go back to the job board.
Yeah.
And I do want to take my flyer out,
Yeah.
and then I want to put it like into the wall of the building, like right beside it. So it's not on the job
It's
board,
not on the job board.
but it is using the same nail.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
It's not on the job board.
It's not on the. Do you want to put it like on the wall of the building?
Or anywhere that looks easily stickable.
Gotcha. Like, how about like you put it like on the post of the job board, so it's not on the board space?
Okay, sure.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, exactly. I know the building itself might be hard to.
Because it's all
get the-
stone. Exactly.
it's
The
stone,
building.
you
The
did
building has
say
stone
that.
walls.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna work unless there's like a crack in the masonry.
Oh, you could do that. Yeah,
Well,
you could stick it
only
on the.
I don't want to like introduce termites or whatever. You know how termites love stone.
Termites do love stone.
Okay, these are fantasy termites that only eat stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. Job board
On the frame, so it's
Yeah.
not like on the actual board
Exactly.
space itself.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep. And
Well-
you now have the quest for the dwarven excavation.
Ballroom, if we want to get back the curtain, we better get going on this excavation quest.
Yeah, that would be great. Do you know where it is?
Well, you see, they're in the mountains southwest of here.
All right. I mean, there's a lots of mountain.
Okay, well, I mean, turn south,
Yep.
and then west,
Yep.
and then turn back a little bit, and then go that way, and it's those mountains.
All right. Are you sure we shouldn't ask somebody, perhaps, which direction
Oh.
specifically? Because I don't think there's a road that leads specifically where we're looking to go.
You know, Ballroom, I knew you were with me for a reason.
It's because I'm so fucking smart.
Well, I don't know that that's the
I'm a
reason.
pretty much a genius. Some people hire me for my muscle, and then they realize they're really hiring me for my brains.
Okay. Well, I think Ballroom makes a good point. So, are there any townsfolk around right now that we could stop and just like ask?
Yep. There's absolutely townsfolk. Just kind of, not a lot, but there's a couple townsfolk here and there.
Okay.
Yep.
I would like to pick someone who looks not mean. Just has a kind of doesn't look upset, friendly look about them.
Probably somebody bringing back a giant bag of gold
Nice.
is in a good mood.
That's true.
Yeah.
Excuse me, prospector.
Yeah, and what you are looking at is absolutely a dwarven woman with a big old sack of gold slumped over her back. It's obviously unrefined. It's all big chunks sticking out hither and yon out of the bag kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she is kind of headed towards the miners' exchange. So she's headed a little bit further down the road where you can see other miners heading towards kind of thing. And she says, she's like, what did you say?
Prospector.
Yes.
Hello. Looks like you have had an excellent day.
I've had more than an excellent day, that's for sure. Well, to be fair, this is like 3 months worth of work, but
My goodness, congratulations.
thank you very much. I think this will be all I need.
You know what you should do with your good fortune? You should celebrate you. And you know how you should do that? There's this new act in town. It's me. And I'm performing tonight at Toblin's Stone Hall Inn, and I would love to see you there. Treat yourself. That's what I say.
There's a new show in town, and it's me. I love that. Oh, all right. You're some sort of a performer of some type.
Am I a performer of some type? I say incredulously. And then I want to do some sort of like dance tumbling trick.
Oh.
And then say, what do you think?
Well, why don't you roll a performance check,
Okay, great.
and I'll tell you what she thinks.
Okay, I'll do that. Performance is for +6, so watch out. Right?
There's a new show in town. It's me. That's the title. That's an amazing title.
Oh no, it's only 5. 5 + 6 is 11.
Okay, roll it at advantage because I feel like
my God.
you're like super prepared to sell yourself. So
Better roll. 10
Okay.
is 16.
16. Okay, that's pretty good.
Is it?
Let's have
Is it though?
let's have her roll. What would you? I don't know if you'd compete a performance roll. I think it's like a
Perform against apathy. Yeah.
performing against
Roll
apathy.
for apathy.
I think it's just a check. It's like an armor, right? You're like rolling against her apathy armor,
Yeah.
right? So
her AC, her apathy class.
her apathy class, exactly. Yeah, so I think 16 is pretty good. That would be considered more than moderate
Okay.
by D&D standards.
It's yeah, I just read that in the rule book. It's medium or whatever.
Yeah. I've got a little behind my DM
Oh,
screen.
I see. Okay, all right.
Behind my DM screen, 15 would be moderate.
Okay.
So 16 is a little bit more than moderate. So like it's not bad. So I think she kind of her eyes kind of open a little bit. She's like, all right, you could do a trick or two.
It was fully a like little quick breakdance move. It
Yep.
was a little spinny on my butt thing.
Yeah.
I get it and I do a little spin.
Yeah.
And then I pop up in a pose.
Yeah. And I think Balrin helps. He's like, he kind of like he like presses his hand to his chest. He's like,
Are you seeing this?
exactly, to try to help upsell it.
He's a really excellent hype man.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why you got advantage. Like he kind of he was helping out to give you advantage,
That makes
kind of thing.
total
Yeah. Like kind of like the whenever you're doing it, and then like whenever you manage it, kind of thing. Yeah, really very much upselling it, kind of thing.
Thank you, Balrin.
And then like at the end, he's like, oh.
Look at that. Do the Will Smith 2 arms.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Very good.
And yeah, so her eyes kind of widen. She's like, all right, and you're putting on a show tonight, are you?
That's right. Over at the Stonehill Inn.
All right.
You know what I'll do? If you give me your name, I'll save you a seat. Now, your first drink's on me.
A free drink at the Stonehill Inn and a show? Well, I mean, how could you beat that? All right, the name's Esmeralda.
Okay, Esmeralda.
It's kind of a fancy name for a prospector, but I was supposed to be. I was noble born in the town of
I believe it.
Grimble Rock, and there was a falling out with my brother.
Oh, you hate to hear that.
Esmeralda. And now he's running the family, and I went to seek my fortune somewhere else, and I found my way here. And that's my story. I think it should be a campaign someday.
Well, Esmeralda, I think you are really showing Esmeralda who is the real sibling
I think so.
in this situation.
I'm gonna turn this gold into coins and buy his whole fucking mansion and put him out on his ass.
Good for you. You absolutely should.
But the free drink and a story sounds great, so I'll
First
be there.
step, drink and story.
Drink and story.
You know, maybe after we can, just chat for a bit. I'd love to tell your story.
Oh, do you think it would be
She kind of
worthwhile?
leans forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. All right, Stonehill Inn. What time?
It's 8. Curtains come at 8.
8
p.m.
8 of the.
Oh yes, right.
I think in D&D there
it's
is
just after
like.
gloaming. It's after gloaming and pre-night.
Little bit later than twilight, kind of pre-gloaming.
No, after gloaming.
After gloaming.
Yes.
All right, sounds good. Far past twilight.
Yes, much past that.
After gloaming.
If you hit dusk,
You've had dusk.
then start to get hyped. That's what I'm saying.
All right, sounds good. I think there is an actual clock system in D&D. I just don't remember exactly how it works. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Oh right, I actually meant to talk to her about that. I got sidetracked on hyping myself.
Yeah.
That did not go well. I mean, okay. Esmeralda, before then, I hope to help these poor dwarves like yourself who are out at an archaeological dig in the mountains. And I understand there's a white dragon wreaking havoc, and I can't just, in good conscience, let them continue on in that danger. Do you know, are there any archaeological digs that you've heard of that this might be speaking of? And I show her the notice.
Old Harbin, he's trying to save everybody from this bloody dragon.
He really is.
Well, I can tell you that the dragon, I mean, it's kind of a skittish creature, but never really been too much of a trouble for us out there prospecting. But I guess if you're looking to go here, that's out past. That's. Yeah, but
She's consulting her brain.
she's consulting her brain as she
thinking
looks through the
about-
notes in her brain. She's thinking about it. I'm pretty sure it was like past Leland, but I can't actually see that written down here. So she says, "Oh, there we go. Yeah. All right. That's just a little bit. That's due east of Leland.
Oh, okay.
It's about 15 miles away from right here in Fandolin."
Oh, that's far. Hey, player question for the DM. Are we doing like distances and time?
We'll do it when I think it matters.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay, that's very good. That's very good.
Yeah. Like, if suddenly everything would be fucked up because of distance, I'm going to ignore it because I don't like ruining everything because we forgot to take a distance into account.
Okay.
But when I think distance adds interest, like if you want to perform at night, and it's 15 miles there, 15 miles back, plus whatever you're doing.
Exactly.
I think that's.
I know.
Right. I think it becomes into play.
I agree with you.
If you really feel strongly that like I fucked up because I forgot about the distance, and my character would not have forgotten about that.
Got it.
We can fudge it.
Okay, I understand.
I'm totally cool with that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But we're thinking of it now, so I think we'll.
Right. Like you still have time to, right? Yeah.
Because how long does I mean, okay, so I wouldn't want to leave if I couldn't get back for gloaming.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So you might not leave today.
I'll go in the morning.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, I'll go in the morning.
Let me just. There is a distance traveled.
Yeah, I know it too. I think we're okay.
I think you're right.
It's in the rule book.
4 miles an hour.
Okay.
So you could travel basically there in 3 hours, back in 3 hours, plus whatever time. So it'd be like 6 hours traveling minimum.
And we're already at like 2 p.m.
And that's fast travel.
Yeah, we're just walking.
Exactly.
Okay,
so that's probably 2 miles an hour.
We're not getting
Yeah, so not doing it today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. I hope they don't die. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Esmeralda. And be sure to come because that drink will be there and it will be waiting for you.
All right, I'll never turn down a free drink, especially when I just became a millionaire. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I think.
It makes sense to me.
Makes sense to me.
Ever the smart one, Esmeralda. Okay.
And now don't mind me. I'm rolling a DM dice.
Why are you rolling a dice? That's not good. A die? I don't like that.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's probably good for me. If you, that tone of okay is probably good.
Yeah. I kind of want another glass of wine, though.
Oh, nice. Do you want me to just bring the thing over here? And you can pour it? While I talk?
Why don't you... So, I guess, what's the plan? What's your plan right now?
Now that I don't... Well, so I turn... Esmeralda walks away, I imagine, after that. Or I walk away with Ballerin.
Yeah.
And I turn to Ballerin and I say, Ballerin, we've already been drumming up a lot of hype for tonight's show. And also our whole being able to stay at the inn kind of hinges on it. So I don't want to be not here when the show is supposed to happen.
I mean, I'm not really that afraid of not being here when the show's supposed to happen, but I am afraid of coming back when we were supposed to be here.
I mean, yes, the consequences are the things that I don't want also. That's true. But also just the feeling of letting down an audience. I can't have that.
That's fair. That's fair.
I can't have that. So, I propose we use the day to go around, meet some people, glad some hands, as it were, and just drum up some excitement and some mystique around the show tonight. And then tomorrow, first thing in the morning, we go and we get dwarves. Is that okay?
All right. I mean, that sounds like a fair plan to me.
Excellent.
Okay. Why don't you take a look at the map?
Okay.
See where you want to go.
Okay.
Show chat what your plans are. Parents' names are Pamerelda and Mamerelda. Yeah, basically. You guys are tapping into the deep wells of my improbability.
Well, I know that we just saw Esmeralda coming from the minor exchange thing.
Yeah.
So I do feel like we're gonna get a lot of happy people there.
Yeah.
And happy people are gonna want to celebrate and drink and stuff.
That's true.
So I want to go there first.
So you kind of turn away from Esmeralda as she heads into the miners' exchange, and then turn back around and start following her.
Oh, she's going in there?
Yeah, she's got a big bag of unrefined ore.
That is fairly awkward. Okay, first I'm gonna circle back, and I'm just gonna tell Toblin really quick.
Yeah.
About Esmeralda, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
pay him for the drink right
Okay,
now.
all
so
right.
that is set, and that is for real happening.
Yeah. So that is 1 silver piece.
Oh, that's right. Do I have any money?
I think you've got a bit of money on your D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond. I know that you sponsor such high-profile streams such as Critical Role, but if you want to stream my promotion, feel free to sponsor. Listen, I've had a bit of wine, okay?
I don't know where it is. Is it under what is it?
At the very kind of scroll down quite a ways.
Currency? Oh, I can. How much did you say it was?
1 silver piece.
1 silver piece.
Which I think is extraordinary for a drink. I think that's like unbelievably expensive. But I don't want to deal with copper.
Fair enough. Copper's crazy.
Copper's crazy.
Okay, I have removed a silver piece.
Nice. How much do you have left?
15 gold. So
Oh my god.
No, I didn't.
Holy fuck. All right, so it's
I've been
like
very
basically
successful.
nothing. Yeah,
I'm very successful.
you've been very successful. Okay. So you pay Toblin the 1 silver for the drink.
Yeah.
And he writes the name Esmeralda down.
That's right.
And he'll have that ready.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, then I want to start making my way over to the Miners' Exchange. But if I do see any like gathering of people along the way, I want to just like talk to Balrin very loudly beside them and talk about like, oh, did you hear the new Acton Town? And I try to use a different voice. So
Yeah.
and hype up. I want to start like a grassroots kind of
Gotcha.
word of mouth sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Why don't you roll a? I mean, I think it's performance again. You're very much performance based, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
I think it's a performance thing.
Okay. 10 plus 6 is 16.
And you got your hype man Balrin helping you out,
That's
so why don't
true.
you roll it at advantage?
Okay, this is the best. Love hype Balrin. 15.
Oh, so that's
21.
a 21.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you see heads turning, and you see people taking note of all this hype, and you know as you kind of walk through town, you hear murmurs about this show that's going to be happening at the Stonehill Inn.
Very good. I'm eager to do this quest.
Yeah.
So would it be okay if we just kind of like fast forwarded time
Yeah.
a little bit?
Yeah.
And just got to the performance.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say, like, honestly, we can take that roll because I don't want to just have you roll again 2 seconds later.
Okay.
And that was a really, really good roll.
Okay.
So I think that's the performance roll for the performance at the Stonehill Inn that night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right.
So what kind of show do you put on? So you said you want to tell the story about a sea monster?
Here's what it is. I do a set.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not just gonna do one song.
Yeah.
So you start in hot. So you start with a epic adventure about a sea monster and pirates and adventure and romance and peril, of course. And then I want to follow it up. I want to take it down a notch, and I want to start with a body song. You know what I mean? B-A-U-W.
Oh, okay.
D-I.
Not body rolls.
Not body. I mean, a little bit of that is going on.
A little bit of body rolls.
A little bit of
yeah,
that is going on. Because of the content of the
Oh
song.
yeah, of course. Yeah. Lots of hip back and forth kind of.
Yeah, like a wing. Like
yeah,
a
exactly.
wing,
Yeah.
It's pretty of the people.
Kicking dance on the tables kind of thing.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sure, exactly. It's like can get slightly raunchy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Little limerick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after that, I wanna do a favorite that everybody knows, like a history. Like everyone loves this, like the bard tale of this
Yeah.
thing kind of thing.
Kind of like we've been listening to a lot of Wheel of Time.
Exactly, that's exactly.
So kind of like the Hunt for the Horn kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
a story that everyone tells.
Yeah.
They all tell it a little bit different,
Yeah.
but everyone wants to hear it. Everyone wants to hear this tale.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's that tale. I think we should at some point hammer out what that story is.
Okay.
Like, what do you think? What do you think would be a story that people would want to hear over and over again? What's a story that can handle retelling? I think it's got to have glory, right? Like, it's got to be some sort of a massive accomplishment that tons of people have tried.
I think it's, what if it's a rotten king that gets overthrown, and you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like this kind of chosen king or queen is put in place instead. I don't know that they would have elected officials, but they would have a leader that was, you know what I mean?
Like almost like a Robin Hood kind of causing the downfall of
a corrupt.
A corrupt and tyrannical king kind of thing. And the a hero of the people kind of united the people to overthrow the king kind of thing.
Exactly.
And I think this is a great story that I think the greatest bards and the greatest storytellers, they tell of cities and kingdoms that people are very unfamiliar with.
Right.
Like, nobody's been from, or very few people have been from blah.
Right.
And so you tell the story about that place so that it can inspire people and they can believe it without having anyone to tell them that it didn't happen that way.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
They know that place exists, but they don't know anyone from it kind of thing. Yeah. So they're believing. That kind of, builds the hype of the people. Yeah. Okay. I dig it. I love it. I think that's a fantastic idea. And like the different bards might tell it from from different places. Like, you say it's from such and such place. They say it's from a different place kind of thing.
Yes.
But, I mean, for all they know, it might be different.
It's happened multiple times.
It's happened multiple times,
exactly,
And it's like, it's to show them that, people can't be put down. And Okay, I love it. Okay, so that's what you finish off with?
That's right. That's the closer.
That's the closer. And it closes with the downfall of this corrupt king and, the seating of this good and noble monarch of some sort. All thanks to this one hero who fought, cloak and dagger against the corrupt king and united the people. And,
exactly.
And I think at the end it is standing room only.
Yes.
I think legitimately people are outside peeking in through the windows, fucking cheering about this story that they all love to hear, and there hasn't been a good bard here for a while. They're just so fucking pumped about this story that I think it is super standing room only, and you more than cover, like, you get tips beyond belief. I'm gonna say you guys are in the center of the very, like, people here are making their fortunes, and they are happy about their fortunes, right? They just got it.
They're in a good mood.
They're in a good mood. They're in a spending mood.
Yeah.
The ale is flowing. The wild boar sausages are unbelievably tasty.
Yeah.
And everyone's having a fucking amazing time. I'll say you probably, you see not a single copper.
Oh.
It's silver and gold only.
Dang.
And I think you guys make probably 10 gold pieces worth. 10 gold pieces worth. Like, it's only 1 or 2 gold pieces individually, but tons of silver, handfuls of silver are dropped in here.
Thank you.
And you see Toblin just beaming as they are just so happy. They drink to celebrate. They eat up all the fucking boar sausages. I think you see like a plate of boar sausages at one point, and like it's all but one is left, and Balrin sees that this is his only chance, and he kind of runs up and grabs it off the plate and just munches it down.
Thank goodness. I was really worried about that.
And it's an absolutely unmitigated success, and everyone's happy, and it's just a fantastic.
That is awesome.
Fantastic event.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up? Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, once it's while they're still happy after that big show, after that big song, the closer song.
Yeah.
I want to say goodnight to the crowd.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. It was wonderful to see you. I'll be back tomorrow night. I want to leave, and I want to get a tea.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a little bit of food. And I I think after that, I want to take it out to my room.
Yeah,
and
that makes
retire
sense.
for
Yeah.
the evening. Yeah.
And I think as you're walking off the stage, everyone's like, no, more. And Ballroom kind of gets up on the stage. All right, everybody settle down. Delia's a one show sort of person. You got your show, you got your story. If you want more, you'll have to come back tomorrow. And
Delia makes a note to prepare an encore for tomorrow.
Yeah. And they're getting Riley, and Ballroom's he's like, all right, hey, sit down. And kind of quiets the crowd down a little bit.
Yeah.
And Toblin, he sees you singing and cheering and dancing and tumbling and juggling and all this stuff, and how much you project your voice while you're doing this. And as he sees it winding down, he's getting the tea ready. You arrive and he's pulling the tea bag out of the teacup and he hands it to you. And then he pulls it back for a second. He adds a drop of honey and he gives it to you, as he knows that your throat has got to need a little bit of.
Thank you, my dear.
No problem. That was more than I ever could have hoped for. Thank you so much, Miss Burrows. That was absolutely wonderful. That was spectacular. Thank you so much. I can't even. You've paid for more than your keep for a week at least. Thank you very much, and I'm excited to see what happens next week. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. She just retires to her room.
And I think Ballroom probably retires maybe an hour later, and probably a couple beers drunker.
Okay, yeah. We'll make the floor bed.
Exactly. Yeah. He kind of stumbles in. You're laying in bed, and it kind of startles you as you hear the door clunk, clunk, clunk.
Yes, exactly.
And you realize he's trying to try the door the wrong way again.
It's push, Ballroom.
I'm pushing.
Was it push?
I'm push. Oh, I was pulling. It was pulling. It's all right. Don't worry. It's a trick door.
Trick door.
And he comes in. He's like, that was great. And then he falls asleep immediately and just face plants onto his little makeshift floor bed.
Delia chuckles and rolls over and falls asleep.
Yeah. And the next morning comes, you get all your spell slots back and all your health back. Not that you spent any.
Excellent. Very good.
And you wake up near the crack of dawn as there is absolutely roosters crowing from a couple spots in Phandalin. They wake you up bright and early, and you hear commotion as the entire town is getting an early fucking start.
Oh, okay.
They are out there. You hear loud talking. You hear wheelbarrows and carts and horses, and you hear the entire town getting up and leaving for the mountains.
All right. Yeah. Well, I want to just super quickly swing by and grab some food for the day, just an apple and some cheese or whatever and some bread, just to put in my pack from Toblin, and then head out. Something for Ballroom, I guess. And then head out to the mountains.
Yeah, absolutely. And Toblin is more than happy. He gives you a couple apples, a couple, hard crust, baked breads, kind of thing. They'll keep nice and well.
Yeah.
And a couple strips of cured meat.
Nice.
Yeah. It's more than you need for a trip, for a day trip kind of thing. But he's just so happy that he gives you a little bit more than you need.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Great. Well, awesome. So we head out, and we got some directions. So from Leland.
Yeah. So if we're gonna want to, the other side.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's Leland down there, which I think we might need to move the map up.
Oh. Leland.
There's Leland right there.
Okay. And we're here.
And so it's due east of Leland. So yeah, you have to travel. You could. Yeah, you can travel cross country, or you can take the roads.
That's crazy. The roads would be so much longer, right?
The roads would be insanely long. This would be much more than a day trip if you were to take the roads.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think we will. Let's cross country it for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Do I have, as a new, do I have enough information to do this? Or, like, do I need to go, should I go talk to more people?
It's kind of up to you. I'll tell you DM to player.
Yeah.
You're pretty ready.
Okay.
I mean, like, there's always more information to get,
Yeah.
like, in the surrounding world.
Okay.
But as for this quest, you're about as ready as you can be.
Okay, well, so we're leaving, it's kind of south of town. So if I go look at, okay, so it's kind of on the way. The Miners Exchange is kind of on the way.
Yep.
So I'd like to swing in there on our way out.
Yeah.
And talk to the proprietor
Yep.
of the Miners Exchange.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. The Miners Exchange, first thing in the morning, dead quiet.
Yeah.
Nobody's there.
Okay.
Right? Everybody's out prospecting,
Yeah.
mining. So the Miners Exchange is absolutely dead silent.
Okay.
There's just two clerks kind of standing up at the front. There's you walk in, it's kind of cold in there. It's kind of dark. It's a rather large space, and there's a front till with large metal bars and kind of two openings, one for each vendor, one for each till person, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where they accept all of the prospected goods, and they pay their worth in coins.
Okay, cool.
And so there are two people at the front.
Okay. So I go up to one of them and I say, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. And it's a normal sized gnome who's a very small person with quite a deep, gruff voice and just one spot of hair sticking straight up in the middle of his head.
Nice, excellent. Okay. Good morning, sir. I am Delia Burrows.
Good morning. The name's Giesbrecht.
Hello, Giesbrecht. My associate Boren and I are hoping to assist in Harbin Wester's quest to rescue the dwarven archaeologists out in the mountain and bring them back home to Fandolin.
Good old Harbin, always trying to do the right thing.
He's very worried.
I've got to tell you, though, I'm pretty sure that they're just fine in the ruins. I don't think they need much saving.
Well, for 50 gold pieces, right?
Well, I mean, for you, it's a great deal. I mean, it's just Harbin's kind of pissing away his money.
Well, speaking of pissing away money, is there anything that we need to be worried about? Anything that will, cost us a lot, cost us dearly on the way to this excavation?
Well, you see, as Harbin said, there's some folk claim to have seen a dragon flying high in the clouds. I mean, it's hard to say. Some people say it's as big as an elephant. Some people say it's just a baby. It's pretty hard to say when it's that far away, but it scared Harbin pretty good, so I guess look out for the dragon that's either a baby or an elephant.
All right.
That's about it, really. I mean, there's also orcs in the hills. I hear that there's orcs now. I mean, and there's like boars in the wilds. There's probably, I don't know, a mountain you could fall off of or a cave in.
Well, this sounds all very bad. Thank you.
It's all pretty bad, but I mean, just be careful.
All right. I take note of those things in my brain.
Yep.
And resolve to keep an eye out for them on the road there. And I say, okay, well, we're off to save the day.
I think as you're leaving, a tall, strong woman with kind of short-cut black hair kind of walks out from kind of the back area where the exchanging actually happens, where they weigh it and measure it and store it and stuff like that. She walks out and she says, "Oh, before you go, I'm sorry I didn't. This is Giesbrecht can be a little bit hasty with his warnings, but I was just wondering if what brings you all the way out here to Fandolin? You seem like adventurous, if not adventurers."
Oh well, I'm Delia Burrows, and this is my associate Baldwin.
I am Baldwin.
Yep, that's the guy. I are traveling entertainers. I, just last night, I'm not sure if you heard about it, put on a little show at the Stonehill Inn.
Oh, was that you?
Yes, it was. I hope you heard good things. We certainly had a lovely time there.
It was quite fascinating. So, how rude of me. My name is, Halia Thornton.
Halia Thornton, lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you, Mrs. Burrows. Now, I'm the guild master here at the Miners Exchange,
Okay.
and I couldn't help but be impressed by your show last night. I must say you made quite a bit of coin, and well deserved. Now,
Thank you. That makes Delia a little suspicious. Someone's noticing her money.
yeah. And she says, "Do you have any experience prospecting or working with prospectors? What's your background? What's your history? What's your experience? What makes you think you're fit for the frontier town of Phandalin?"
You know, I do not have a great deal, and that's why I'm here precisely. And I tell her about how I was from a small farming village. It's very, very simple. And that, made me want to find greater and larger things. And so I went to Neverwinter, which was so much more everything, so much busier and everything like that. And then I tell her about the pull of Phandalin that brought me here, mainly the interest in people.
Yeah, I think when you describe how you were basically a farmer,
Yeah.
and wanted something more like adventurous and to like, what were the words? Did you say like, what were the words you used?
Yeah.
What exactly were the words you used to describe your desire to leave farming?
When I got to where I was telling the same stories to the same people in my hometown. And I knew there were more stories out there and more people to tell them to.
Of course, definitely more people, and I'm sure much more money to be made, and more fame to be had. That's, of course, wise decision. I've got nothing but respect for people who decide that what they have is not as much as what they could have, whether it's monetarily, whether it's stories or financial or otherwise, spiritual wealth. I've got nothing but respect for people like that. I think we could be great friends. Please do tell me when you get back from this silly little quest Harbin's got you on to warn the dwarves of the dragon that I'm sure they've got no idea about. Please be sure to pay me another visit again. I think you've got a unique skill set. I'd love to discuss it further.
Oh, I'd love to, Halia. Thank you.
Hey, the pleasure's all mine. Please be safe out there in the wilds. There's orcs and boars, and most of what Giesbrecht was saying is actually true. He's just a little bit quick.
Well, I'll keep an eye out, don't you worry.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything out there? Do you need anything done while we're gone? I mean, we're heading out that way, if you need anything on the way.
I mean, if you could... If the prospectors are in any danger, please do protect them. Their job is of paramount import, so please don't just ensure their safety, ensure the completion of their job.
Ah, certainly.
Of course, their lives are of utmost importance. Please bring them back safely. I in no way want to imply that their worth is lessened by them coming back without the job finished, but if it's possible, please do ensure the completion of the job.
Certainly, I understand.
Thank you. I knew you would.
Awesome. And she, I think she's got what she needs.
Okay.
So
Yep.
I'd like to start out across the wilds.
Okay. Roll a survival check
Oh.
to see if
That's
s-
nothing.
+0.
Plus nothing. With a black dice. Oh, can you see that? It's a 12.
Oh, it's a 12.
12 plus nothing.
Okay. You get the general direction pretty right. You talking to people, reading the winds and the sun and the directions. You get a pretty good beat of which direction Leland is and how to just kind of cut your direction a little bit so that you head straight there and you don't miss your mark. But you do see absolutely a couple of orcs wandering the wild. They do not come upon you.
Okay.
You do not necessarily instigate combat, but you do see them. And they are looking up into the sky. They are talking between themselves. Do you understand Orcish?
I don't think so. Hang on. No, only common and halfling.
Okay, so they're speaking in a language that you don't understand, and they seem to be upset about something.
Uh-oh.
But
And looking into the sky.
Looking into the sky, but you look up and you see nothing.
Okay.
When you see them look up, they are actively talking about something that they are seeing.
What? All right.
Yeah,
That's weird.
yeah. But they don't see you.
Okay, probably because they're looking up.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
'Cause
I'm
they're
not
looking up.
I'm down.
You're down.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Trying to think if there's any questions I have about the. I don't know that I can gain any more info or intel about the orcs. Can I see which direction they're going?
They're going. So they're kind of coming down from the mountains. But it doesn't look like they want to be coming down from the mountains. Like they're coming down the mountains, but hesitantly. So like they're stopping and looking like they want to go back up the mountain.
Uh-oh.
But they're stopping and they are actively moving down the mountain.
Boren, are we going towards something that scares orcs?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure there's a dragon around here.
This is bad.
And a dragon is definitely scarier than an orc.
This is bad.
They might be afraid of the dragon, to be totally honest.
Oh dear.
I thought you were excited to see the
Oh, I
dragon.
didn't think about it all the way through in real life.
That's what I was saying. It's pretty fucking scary.
We can do it. It's gonna be fine. We can do it.
All right, if you say so.
I want to keep very low to the ground. How tall is the grass? I want to be like fairly.
The grass is pretty short. Why don't you roll a stealth check?
Okay. That's +6. Yay. Ooh, 5, 11.
5, 11. Oh, wow.
A 1.
A 1. That doesn't necessarily mean a failure.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
It just means something.
it means something.
1 equals.
1
Random
equals location.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man. So, the orcs kind of move on. They don't notice you.
Okay.
But then you hear something in the sky, and you look up, and what you see way, way far up in the distance is an unmistakable white dragon.
Oh my god!
And you can't tell if it's small and really and close,
Yeah.
or if it's huge and very far away. Like you can't tell. Like you see it's bigger than some clouds and smaller than other clouds. But how far away are the clouds? You can't get a distance.
Okay.
But it's not looking down at you. It's going somewhere else.
Can I tell what direction it's going in?
It's going a little bit further west,
Okay.
but it's also descending.
Oh no.
So you're heading east?
Oh no.
You're heading east, right? Or are you heading...
South. Oh wait, no, I'm going southwest.
Okay, then it's heading further east of you.
Does that mean
Basically,
it's going to Vandalin?
it's not going north enough.
Oh.
It is going due west. Or due east of you. As you're headed towards the water,
It's going this.
as you're headed
Oh, I
towards the
see.
water, it's headed away from the water.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is
Whoa.
descending, and you figure it's probably like if you're headed around here.
I know what's on the outside of the box.
If you're headed here,
Yeah.
it looks like it's headed here.
Oh my god, that's way too close.
It's extremely close.
That's very bad.
It looks like it's probably landing maybe 5 or 10 miles away from where you were going to go.
Okay, I want to start hustling and trying to I want to get to those dwarves.
Yeah. Okay. And with that, the rest of your trip kind of passes without issue.
Okay.
And you end up arriving at the Dwarven Excavation.
I'm so nervous.
Now, the name on the quest, does
Yeah.
it give you the name of the dwarves?
No.
Okay.
Like their personal names?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no,
yeah.
no, it doesn't.
Okay. So, when you arrive, you are at the eastern end of a massive canyon. The canyon's rocky walls rise to a height of 80 feet. And at the end of the canyon, there's a 20-foot high wall of black stone that has a broken gate carved into it, with one stone door hanging precariously by a hinge and the other door missing. Beyond this open gate, in the shadow of a mountain to the east, lies a ruined settlement, and all is quiet.
Okay. I want to carry on. Well, I want to look and see if I'm like walking into an ambush. I want to see if there's anybody hiding in the like walls of the canyon or like peering over it or anything like that.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
I'm gonna use the blue die. That's gonna fix it. It's +0. Come on. It's a 9.
It's a 9.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a 9.
You don't really notice anything
Okay.
out of the ordinary.
It seems fine, Boren.
All right. I mean, it seems creepy as hell, but all right.
Okay. I wanna stick to the like wall of the canyon a little bit.
Yeah.
And walk in and try and find. Did I see the entrance?
Yeah, it's this huge 20-foot
Yeah.
high black wall with a giant carved door in it.
Right.
One of the doors is busted, the other door is gone.
Okay. This is fine. This is gonna be totally fine. Okay. I wanna make my way to it. And so can I get to the entrance?
Yep.
Unimpeded?
Well, unimpeded, yes. Would you like to be stealthy?
Yes. I don't want people to know I'm
Stealth check time.
Stealth is +6. Rogue. Oh, that's a
Boy.
6. So 12.
Having a rough time with the rolls tonight.
I know.
Having a rough time with the rolls tonight.
18.
All right.
Oh my goodness. This is very bad. This is
I,
very bad.
I maybe should have rolled that one hidden, but
Oh no! Is it a dragon roll? This is the worst.
Okay. You don't see any.
So stressed
You
out.
don't see anything change.
Okay.
It's just an absolutely dead silent
I
canyon.
hate it. Thank you. Okay. This is the worst ever. This is a big mistake. Okay. Okay. It's fine. I'm fine with it. Okay. Okay. Cool. Great. It's fine. Cool. Okay. So I want to like peer into the. Do I see anything when I peer into the entrance?
When you peer through the giant door,
Yes.
it's pitch black. Do halflings have dark vision?
I don't know. Where would I see that?
I'm not sure. Could always just Google halfling. Hey chat, does anyone know if fucking halflings have dark vision? It's like everybody but humans have dark vision, but
Oh no, I don't.
no dark
No.
vision? All right, Bolrin has dark vision.
That's right.
Yeah.
Aha. Game in the system.
Bolrin kind of like you look in there and it's pitch black.
Okay.
Bolrin's like, all right, what do you see?
I see nothing. What do you see? Do you see anything? I can't see anything. I can't see shit.
Why can't you see it? Does it open up in there? What do you mean nothing?
It's black. It's just blackness.
Oh, it's dark?
Yes.
Oh, all right. I'll take a look.
Oh, okay.
Balrin takes a look.
It's a 5.
It's a 5, and Balrin also says, "All right, I can't see shit."
Damn it. All right.
Balrin says, "It looks like some sort of a ruined settlement in there. There's just like rubble and smashed down houses and
Huh.
I don't
Built
know.
into the mountain.
It's like there's like a cave in there,
Okay.
and there's like old houses in there, and they're all broken down."
All right. I think we got to find the dwarves. Like, we're here on a mission, and we're going to complete our mission.
All right,
Okay.
should we light a torch or something?
I guess.
It might draw attention.
That's true. But, well, you can see, right?
All right, but if we get into trouble,
Yeah.
you'll be just fighting in absolute darkness.
That is bad. Okay, yes, torch, but a small one. A small torch.
All right, a little torch.
Just a little one.
All right.
And I should hold it, because you can see, and I don't want to mess up your vision.
All right, that sounds good. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
And you want to light a small torch?
But a small torch.
All right, so we'll say that this gives you dim light.
Okay.
And dim light.
Oh my gosh, there's so many rules in this game.
I know, there's so many rules. I think dim light is. Oh, there we go. Dim light. A torch. Dim light is 20 feet. So you can see 20 feet
Okay.
around you.
Okay.
And when you take a couple, so are you crossing past the
Yep.
threshold of the door? Yeah.
Yep.
You cross past the threshold of the door, and you are in a small bubble of light in infinite darkness.
Damn, dude. Okay.
You see nothing on the outside of the light. It does not touch anything. It just looks like infinite blackness.
Do I see, how about on the ground in front of me? Can I see footprints or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. Why don't you roll an investigation check?
Okay.
Or a perception check, I guess.
Perception is 1. I got 1 perception. 20 plus
Oh, natural fucking 20.
Natural 20.
You see many footprints.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah.
Many footprints, obviously made by dwarves.
Okay.
And they're all in basically almost a single file line. Like they know exactly where they're going.
Yeah.
And it leads basically straight a little bit, as you come in through the door, a little bit to the left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lauren, check it out. I think it's this way.
Balrin goes to look for the footprints.
12.
And Balrin's like, all right, sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Hey, that's the first natural 20 of the campaign.
Oh, congratulations. The blue die.
The blue dice.
Blue die.
The blue die.
Is successful and
Yep.
good.
Yep, perfect.
Holy die.
Holy die.
Okay.
Sacred among 20s.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can see the exact path of the dwarven feet.
Okay.
So would you like to follow it?
I would like to follow it cautiously.
Yeah.
And I want to be like really looking around, like preparing, looking around kind of thing.
Yeah. So I think unfortunately the stealth roll you rolled is basically your stealthiness.
That's true.
Which is not super stealthy. So I do think you're kind of clomping along a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, because you can't really
Also,
see
the
much.
torch is really...
That's just it. Like the torch is giving a lot of light in here,
yeah.
and but it's also dim light. So like you kind of come up against a wall suddenly, and go whoa, and then you kind of back up a little bit, and you shuffle and stumble a bit, and you can kind of hear that shuffle kind of echo around you.
Okay.
I think Balrin belches at one point, and you hear
Damn it, Balrin.
there's the wild boar sausages. They really agree with me. So I think as you kind of make your way to the right, it's a wall that's mostly torn down. It's built wall. It's not cave wall.
Okay.
This used to be a building, and then as you continue along, part of the wall is completely collapsed. It's almost like it's punched in. Something knocked it down.
Okay.
And then it kind of rises back up again. It's like if the Kool-Aid Man ran through a wall,
Yeah.
this is like a Kool-Aid Man hole in the wall.
Hey, Boren, you're a dwarf. You've been around dwarven tools.
Yep.
In fact, some might say you're a dwarven tool yourself. I wouldn't, though.
I take that as a compliment.
Oh, good. Does this look like it was done as part of the excavation, or is it something else?
Well, it's probably not a deliberate part of the excavation. I have known the dwarves to get so drunk they fell through a wall. But this is definitely not done by any sort of tools or deliberate kind of mining.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll cautiously continue on. Do I see anything like left caught on the wall? Like somebody left a bit of like their cloak caught on it when they Kool-Aided through it or anything like that?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. And I'm gonna like your
Yeah.
natural 20 perception check
Sure.
kind of carries through, and you can tell that this was not made by a person.
Okay.
In fact, it doesn't look like it was made by a living being.
But not a tool.
Not a tool either.
And is anything melted? I know.
No, not
okay.
melted. Not melted.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think with a natural 20, you can get as much information as you want to ask about.
Okay. Do I want to ask about anything else?
And the rest of the building is completely destroyed. It's not like it's a perfect building with a hole in it.
See.
This building is completely ruined.
Yeah.
Part of the wall is standing, except that there's a hole punched in the wall.
Okay. Well, maybe it's nothing. It's probably not nothing. But maybe it's not something I don't know. I'm gonna keep it in mind.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna keep following the dwarf path.
Yeah. Yeah. As you kind of continue around, you know, the torchlight is kind of illuminating the wall to your right-hand side, and then the wall just disappears, and it's just blackness again. You kind of hold the torch around the corner a bit, and you can see that the building, like it's just the corner of the building kind of thing. And then it's just blackness, just an ocean of blackness in front of you. And then you look down, and you can kind of see the dwarf path again. And then as you continue to follow it, another wall just kind of comes out of the darkness as you walk by, and it looks almost like the entryway to a building.
Okay.
Except basically the corner is the only thing left standing.
Okay. Is there anything like, I guess it doesn't really matter, but just to know, is there anything like identifying of the thing? Like if it's the corner of a building, is there any sign or a plaque saying what the building was?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the dwarf path kind of curves around to the right-hand side. So you follow almost the corner of the building that was to your right.
Okay.
You kind of follow it around. You kind of keep going, and more buildings kind of pop up to the right and to the left, just at the periphery of your vision. With dim light, you can just make out these kind of ghostly figures of buildings that are absolutely ruined.
What does it sound like in here?
Completely silent.
Yeah.
Completely silent.
Are there any like smells?
It smells not as musty as it should. Like a ruin that sat absolutely undisturbed forever would have like a smell, like an ancient undisturbed dust kind of must.
Yeah.
This doesn't have it.
Huh.
It smells a little bit musty, but it smells like fresh air is brought in kind of regularly.
I would think because of the excavation. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
You kind of get the feeling that as the dwarves kind of come in and go, that movement of all of them has helped to really kind of air this place out.
Okay, nice.
And then you end up walking to as you're walking, this kind of circular stone structure kind of pops up right in the middle of your path.
Man. Yeah, okay.
Like you're kind of walking, then all of a sudden there's a thing right in the middle, right in front of you. And when you, upon closer inspection, you can see that it's actually a well. It's an old water well that's been filled with stone.
Filled with stone?
Yeah.
Huh. Hey, Balrin, you ever heard of something like coming up from a well in a bad way? Do you think there's like a monster that came up out of here and so they filled it with stone to stop the access?
It's possible. I mean, they don't usually come out of the water wells, but I guess it's not impossible.
I heard this one tale called the Ring.
I don't want to hear it. That sounds terrifying. I'm pretty sure once you hear the story of the ring, you die.
Well, not right away. Not right away. It takes a little bit.
Why don't you roll? That was your perception check, right?
Yeah. Wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
For the path. Yeah.
So with that, as you guys are going, you see parts of the buildings fallen over, and you see something under some of these fallen over building stones.
Okay.
And when you go over and check it, you see crushed bones and cloth.
How recent are the, like, you're saying bones, so is there any flesh on
No
them?
flesh.
And the building is on them?
Yeah, like chunks of the building fell down on them.
Huh. It looks like there was some sort of structural catastrophe here. Does the foundation of the building, does it look like the building failed? Or does it look like something pushed the building onto them?
It looks like something pushed the building onto them.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like something knocked the building over onto them.
As Baldwin starts to talk, I hold up my hand. And I say, no, wait! Something else!
And then you notice some of the stones aren't even building stones.
Oh.
They're not from the building.
Boren, have you ever heard of, what do you think would use stones as a weapon? Could it be like a troll or something? Some kind of ogre?
A troll or an ogre could do it for sure. I mean, the mountain could also just fall down.
Oh, the mountain! Can you see up? Can you see past my torch?
Nope,
Okay.
definitely not. It's
Great.
really high up there.
Glad you're here as always,
Yep,
Boren.
helping as I always do. I see nothing and can confirm that there is nothing that I can see.
Okay. What's the cloth look like? Does it look like it was very fine and it was a wealthy person, or does it look common?
It looks... I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but as you see it, it's so uniform between the different bones and people that have been crushed that
Okay.
it's ritualistic.
Oh. Huh. Boren, it looks like all these folks are wearing similar garb. Do you recognize? Okay, so seeing that and thinking ritualistic, can I rack my brain for, like, if I've heard of religious stuff?
I was just going to
Can I
say,
do a religion check?
roll a religion check or a history check,
Okay.
whichever one's higher.
They are both +1.
They're both +1.
16.
16. Balrin gets
Oh, yeah.
4.
I
Balrin the Paladin
love that guy. I know.
looks like garbage. But you have heard so many stories,
There you go.
and some of the most fantastic are the ones that make people wealthy, right?
Oh.
The stories of how people got rich or got famous are the two most popular stories, right?
Yep, totally.
And this is one that's not how people got famous, but how people got rich.
Okay.
And as you look through this garb over and over, bits and pieces of cloth, you start to, it twigs a memory of a story that you've heard, and I think you've told maybe once or twice too. And it's the story of Abathor. Abathor was an evil dwarven god of greed. And he desired and demanded sacrifices of blood and wealth.
Oh.
And it was said that when his sacrifices were left wanting, he would summon mighty wrath upon the followers that failed to appease his desires.
Okay. I tell Balrin about this,
Yeah.
basically.
And as you do, he's like, all right, yeah, of course, the Abathor, yeah, he's the god of whole greed. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, greed, and he really loved sacrifices. Yeah, love the I was saying sacrifices.
Also pancakes.
Also pancakes.
Yeah.
So it's pretty clear that he had no idea.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
But as a holy man, he has to pretend like he
How
knew.
embarrassing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just want to, but it's very old.
Very old.
So maybe it's fine.
Yeah.
So I just want to keep continuing on cautiously.
Yeah, like as you move a rock to get a look at some of this stuff, like the bone falls into dust.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Fairly old.
Okay, so you continue on?
Yeah.
Okay, as you continue on through the darkness, eventually, you find a partially collapsed 10-foot high wall that separates this kind of courtyard area from the area beyond. And as you pass through, you find like a small settlement of dwarven prospectors.
Oh, great.
There are 3 heaps of rubble piled high in this area, hewn from the canyon's black wall. There's a 30-foot high temple facade that features steps rising to a stone platform. Cut into this facade is a 10-foot high open doorway flanked by crumbling, life-sized granite statues of cloaked dwarves. Evil grins can be seen on their weather-worn faces.
Evil grins. All right.
Yeah.
Hail and well met, friends.
So I think there's just a bunch of dwarves sitting around. Some of them are eating rations. Some of them are like stretching their arms or legs kind of thing. And as you announce yourself, some of them kind of look up, and then 2 of these dwarves kind of get up and walk over to you. One of them's kind of got like one eye kind of semi-closed, and the other one kind of like eyeing you over very carefully.
Totally.
And the other one's got 2 bright wide eyes and kind of raised eyebrows and a big smile on his face.
Oh, okay.
And the guy with the smile on his face says, well, what can I do for you? The name's Dazzlin.
Dazzlin?
Yeah, Dazzlin something or other.
Welcome. I mean, nice to meet you, Dazzlin.
Just a sec. I'm sure I have a last name somewhere. Dazzlin Greyshard, of course. I've been around this black stone for so long. Sometimes I call myself Dazzlin Blackshard, but then I remember that's not my name, and my name's Dazzlin Greyshard. And this is my friend Norbus Iron Rune. Sometimes I call him Black Rune because I've spent so much time around this bloody black stone. But of course, that's neither here nor there, and I'm sure you're not really interested in all that. What's your name?
So, Dazzlin, sir, I am Delia Burrows, and this is my associate Balrin, no last name needed. And we are here to warn you of a dragon in these parts. Have you heard? There's a white dragon. We even saw it on the way in.
Yeah, I've heard of a dragon. I wasn't sure if it was real or not. I think we just chalked it up to hearsay and rumor, and honestly, we've got this really important. And then Norbus, who's kind of the more curmudgeonly guy with the kind of one closed eye and one very kind of like the half closed eye and the kind of scanning, calculating eye.
Yes.
He kind of puts a hand on Dazzlin's shoulder. He's like, all right, that's enough, Dazzlin. You're here to warn us about the dragon?
That's right.
No, hold on. You're just saying the dragon's here, so we should just pack up leave everything we found, and just go back to Phandalin. Is that right?
For safety, yes.
Oh, yes, of course, for safety. Yeah, I'm sure. We should probably just leave everything we found on the ground to just slow us down, right?
Well, I mean, if you need to take it, we could help you take it. Help you, mind you, and give it back to you. Like, it's for you. I showed him the notice from Harbin.
Yeah.
We're here on honest business. The town master himself is worried about you.
All right. Oh, hold on. So you're gonna say, look at that. It says 50 gold pieces for this.
I shouldn't have showed you the piece of
So you
paper.
think it's worth 50 gold to come here and tell us that there's a dragon? I wonder where he's gonna get that 50 gold from.
Oh, I'm sure he has it. It's a very large house he's in. I'm pretty sure he's fine.
I wonder where he's gonna make up the 50 gold from.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't think he'd be stealing. Are you thinking he would steal?
I'm thinking there are forces out there that want us to abandon the unimaginable treasures found within here. And they'd take them for themselves. They'd make themselves wealthy. And offering 50 gold of the veritable fortune in here is a pittance compared to how much they'd make for managing to scare us away from what we found.
How much will you make if you get burned alive before you can even unearth it?
I haven't seen a dragon. I'm not really sure there is one.
We saw one ourselves.
Oh, what a coincidence. The person coming to show us has seen the dragon. Of course. I'll tell you what. If you're so keen on saving us, I'll tell you what, we're not leaving. And Dazzlin, like, kind of gulps hard. He's like, we're not leaving? But what if there really is a dragon? And Norbus kind of looks at him. There's not a dragon. But I'll tell you what, you help us take what's left in this here ruins, we'll leave with you. But we're taking everything with us.
Well, I mean, if it'll get you out into safety.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
What do you need done exactly?
Well, we were doing pretty fine excavating the ruins till we found some nasty ochre jellies in there.
Oh.
And, I mean, we're not really fighters, to be honest. We're kind of diggers and appraisers. Some of us are pretty good carriers. Not many all that good at fighting, so we saw the ochre jellies. We ran away. Bravely. And now we're just kinda having a snack. Till we go back and deal with the ochre jellies somehow. But tell you what, you go clear it out, deal with all the ochre jellies and skeletons and monsters in there, and we'll pick up whatever's left. We'll carry it all back and we'll be safe and sound in Phandalin.
Now, you said ochre jellies, but then you did also say skeletons and monsters.
Well, I only assume we only saw the ochre jellies, but they usually keep nasty company, don't they?
I mean, yes, I guess they do.
And then Dazzlin kind of like meekly pipes up. He's like, I mean, it would be nice if you could just maybe help us out a little bit, just clear it out, and then we could just maybe go home before the dragon eats us.
I would like you to go home. All right. You let it be known that you have a friend in Delia and Boren. 2 friends, in fact.
All right, did I sign up for this, Delia? Wait, hold on, just a
I'm
second.
signing up. You're signing up.
Well, just hold on before you sign up. He's just a crabby old asshole. Maybe there's another way around this. Hey, Norbus. Yeah, what do you want? How about we don't fight all the nasty monsters and then we just all go back to Phandalin? Nope. All right, sounds good. Good talk.
You know what the Boren is? He makes a great point there, Norbus. What if you just, for now, come back?
Nope.
And but just for now?
No.
Ah.
Alright, I'll tell you what. We'll give you a special gift. We'll give you one of our treasures that we've found so far if you help us clear out this temple.
That's generous. Is it cursed?
Nope.
Is it a cursed treasure?
No, it's these sending stones. They're pretty cool. They let you send messages kind of like a telephone.
Oh, I really do want that, even though I don't know what a telephone is.
I don't really know either. I just imagine it's like a telepathic phone. Phonic, which is also a word for words. So it's like telepathic words. Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
That does sound very appealing.
It's pretty cool, and you could have it if you cleared out the temple.
Well, Boren, I'm up for it if you are.
Yep, me too, and I'd rather not talk much because apparently I sound exactly like these guys.
How embarrassing for you.
How embarrassing for me. All dwarves sound the same.
Alright. Well, is there anything, when you fought the ogres, or ran from them, or whatever you did, is there
A little bit of both.
Oh, well, don't we all? Is there anything that, like, did you find they were, like, acidic, corrosive? Anything you were, especially concerned about?
Yeah, they were, they definitely had some things that were, like, specific to them.
Most things do.
Right? Most things seem to have, like, specific things. They were, we couldn't cut them at all.
Oh, dear.
If you got a sharp weapon, it's just not going to work at all. And they dissolve flesh pretty easily, but they don't really dissolve wood or metal or stone or anything like that. It's mostly just flesh.
Okay. Thank you for telling me that. Bad news. There's literally nothing I can do. I cannot do a thing. Look at this. And I hold out my daggers.
Yeah.
And my javelin. I'm like, look, there's nothing I can do. What do you want me to do with these? There's nothing I can do with this. I'm terribly sorry, but there's not. I mean, just come home. What do you have? Show me your weapons. What are you going to do to deal with the ogres?
Well, I mean, to be totally honest, we really only ever kind of ran from them.
If you're running from them, are you really getting the treasure you want out of here?
No, I think you're going to need to kill them, so...
No?
We found this one thing
Okay.
that I guess you could use. It's worth quite a bit of money, so...
Give it back.
Maybe... Oh, give it back? That's even better. I was just going to say, maybe consider this prepayment, but maybe you just give it back.
Delia slaps her forehead.
No, that's alright. Maybe you just hold on to this as kind of a prepayment. Because if you don't succeed, then really, what are we gonna do? So maybe you carry this with you. Use this.
A mace!
It is a +1 mace.
Awesome.
And it's got a little bit of an extra thing on it.
While holding the mace, you can use an action to cause your voice to carry clearly for up to 300 feet until the end of your next turn. I love that.
I can only imagine
Yeah.
this thing looks kind of like a microphone.
Right?
I think this is like the microphone mace.
This is very good.
And you kind of speak into it
This is very, very
to have
good.
your voice carry like crazy.
That is awesome. Okay. Well, Delia says, holding on to this mace. Thank you. I guess there's no reason for me to not do this. Now.
Yep, that's about right. So you better go squish the jellies.
I better go squish the jellies. And she was like, yeah, she's gonna go do it.
Okay.
So, but I'd want to they showed me the area where it was. So I'd want to approach in a sneaky way.
Yeah.
and try to catch them unawares, or at least get the lay of the land and see how many enemies there are and stuff.
Yep. Okay, so I think roll 1 stealth check to try to be careful as you enter this.
This is your die.
That's my die.
It's a 4.
It's a 4.
And it's nothing, right? It's a 4 plus nothing.
Okay.
This is very bad.
Not a great night of rolling for you.
Funny.
Not a great night of
Everything
rolling
else
for
is
you.
wrong.
Yeah. So you kind of like, as you try to quiet yourself down, you kind of stub your toe, Balrin's clanking along. Like you walk into a wall every now and then.
Jeez.
And I imagine you have the torch still
Yeah.
so that you can see, because literally,
Yeah.
like there's 1 or 2 small campfires that these dwarves are kind of huddled around, and the rest is pitch blackness because they all have dark vision.
Right.
None of them need sources of light.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no light in here whatsoever, other than you're just 20 feet of dim light from your torch. So you kind of walk up the steps to the entrance of this temple. And to the left and right, you see these statues of the dwarves with the evil grins. And the doors in front of you are open.
Okay.
And it's just pitch blackness inside.
All right. Yeah, I want to go, but I want to just get past the door and have my back to the wall, pretty much.
Which wall? The right wall or the left
Oh
wall?
my gosh, the left wall.
The left wall? Okay.
This is so specific.
The directions matter a lot in here.
Man, what? Okay.
Yeah, okay. They can't really see
Oh.
the map. They can't really see the map. It's okay.
No, just general shape.
Just general shapes. No looking at my map. So as you said, the left wall?
Yes.
Okay. So you kind of put your back to the left wall. You're kind of sneaking along, sliding sideways, looking up. It's about 10 feet high, so you can see the ceiling with your torch.
Okay. That's very good. I want to see what's...
Exactly, yeah. And then, to your left, you see more hallway, and it just kind of disappears into blackness. And then suddenly, the wall that you're creeping along disappears.
Okay.
And there's an open passageway.
Huh.
And you can see, like, another 4 feet away, the wall continues. Like, this is a side passage.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'd like to get a sense of this room first before moving on to another room.
Yeah.
So I'd like to take a spin around the perimeter, basically, if I can.
Okay, so what you're in is kind of more of like a hallway.
Oh.
Yeah. Basically, this is like an entry hallway.
I see.
So you could see the other wall on the other side as you're kind of slinking
get it.
along to the left,
Okay.
going along. You can see the wall in front of you as you go down this hallway. Also, I'd like you to make a perception check.
Oh, all right. It's a 1. Sorry, I have to look every time still. 11 plus 1 is 12.
You see nothing.
Ah, damn it. Okay. Do I well, I mean, no, it's the same thing. I was gonna ask if I hear.
Do you hear?
Anything.
You don't.
I don't hear anything.
I will say that it sounds, the way that Norbus was describing it,
Yeah.
is like there's a hallway
Yeah.
into a larger room, and the larger room is where he saw the ochre jellies that made them run.
That's true. Okay. So then I would like to make 4 what looks like the big, because like those were side passages.
Yeah, there's one side passage.
I would like to not go in the side passage.
Okay, you want to go into the main room?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so as you enter the main room, the walls just like, basically the wall that you're on kind of turns a corner, and the rest of the room is just infinite darkness.
Okay.
You can just see the corner of a round pillar at the edge of your torchlight.
Okay. Borin,
Yep.
do you see anything? 7.
Nope.
Okay, thanks.
Uh,
That's great, thank you.
It's kind of a largish room.
Huh?
I can see 4 pillars kind of holding the room up,
Okay.
and there's something at the far end.
Does it look like an ooze?
It's pretty square and boxy,
Okay.
not really oozy.
All right. Well, damn it. Okay. I want to just like. I think now she's getting like. Now I'm getting too scared. I want to just fight this thing.
Yeah.
So she's gonna start just striding out into the middle of the room.
Okay, yeah.
And so keep like, yeah, stepping away from the wall and striding towards the box thing.
Okay, give me one more perception check.
Okay. Perception +1. 14 total. Oh no, wasn't it over 15?
Okay.
Balls.
Okay. So, boy.
It's gonna be fine.
I guess you don't see it before it kind of drops from the ceiling. But it doesn't get the surprise on you.
Okay.
So, as you're just like walking out, you absolutely aggravate the ochre jelly that was waiting in this room on the ceiling.
Damn it.
And it kind of slurps off the ceiling, splats onto the ground, and it's this amorphous pudding of fucking ochre color.
Man.
And it starts slurping its way over to you. It's not very fast. It's about, you can move what, 35 feet in a turn? I think?
Yeah, I think so.
It can move 5 feet in a turn.
Okay.
So it is 7 times slower than you are.
That's good.
So it's not very fast, but it starts slurping its way towards you.
Okay. I go, ah! There it is. That's the guy.
That's disgusting.
It's bad. We should probably kill it.
All right, let's kill the stupid thing.
And I want to.
I guess we should roll like fucking initiative.
Oh my god. I was on Balrin's character sheet for like a while.
I seemed like your bonuses were super low. I was like, man, how do you only ever have +1 to things? Well,
This is going really well.
it's going really well.
It's going really well. Okay.
I think it's combat music time.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, it was my stealth ones that were exceptionally wrong. It was like 0 versus 6.
I thought so. I was like, how do you not have these?
Stupid. That's okay.
That's fine.
She forgot how to be stealthy for those
Exactly,
moments.
yeah.
Yeah, she sneezed.
Balrin was taking the lead and was determining the stealth rolls.
Exactly. Okay. So I wanna go and smash. I would like to smash. I don't really have like things at this point. Yeah, a mace is. Now, does this say? It doesn't really say whether it's. Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter. 1 or 2 hand.
It is a one hand.
But I
Yeah.
think the dagger doesn't do anything, so I don't think it matters.
That's right. No, this is basically going to be the only weapon that's effective.
And this says it's +1 bonus to attack.
Uh,
And damage. So when I roll to hit,
yeah.
would that be +1, or would it be my regular?
So because this is technically a strength weapon,
Oh, okay.
and you need to use dex weapons, you would not be proficient in it.
Right.
But
Okay.
you are proficient in performance items, and I'm going to say that this fucking microphone mace
Oh my god.
is absolutely something that you would be proficient in. So I'm going to let you add your proficiency.
That is
You're going to
amazing.
roll it basically like a dagger.
So +6.
So plus your normal to hit, plus another one.
I don't know what that means. I'm terribly sorry.
So what does it say to hit?
Well, just for my dagger.
Yeah.
Okay, 6 +6.
Okay. So you'd add one more to that.
But I'm proficient in daggers.
You're basically proficient in this too.
But why would it be 7?
Because it has +1.
Oh my god, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Thanks. Okay. All right. Cool. So can I roll to hit it?
Yeah, I don't know what the damage is on a dagger or on a mace.
Do we want to just treat it?
I know, kind of like the dagger, basically.
Well, my dagger is a D4.
Yeah.
And
I think usually
my rapier is a D8. Does that help?
Oh, wow. I think it's probably more like a rapier then, because it doesn't get like sneak attack and shit like that. So it's probably more like a rapier where it just does like smashing damage.
Okay.
A mace. The fuck? Oh, 1d6.
Oh, great.
1d6 damage.
Okay. If I can hit him.
Yeah, so it does 1d6 plus whatever your plus is. So why don't you roll to
4.
hit?
Okay, I get it.
You roll
okay.
a d20 to hit first.
Okay, so first, it's this. So 18 plus
Oh my god.
6 plus 1, right?
Yeah, like super duper hits.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely fucking hits this
Excellent,
thing.
very good.
It is a slow, giant gelatinous mass. You fucking hit it.
Fabulous. Very good news.
Yeah.
I want to hold it with 2 hands and do it.
2 hands. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Awesome.
Oh,
and now
right.
the damage. So you roll a d6.
Okay. So that's my regular one is +4.
Yep.
And so it'd be +4 plus 1 is 5. Okay.
Exactly.
So 9 total.
9 damage. Okay. You fucking just bring this microphone mace down into the ochre jelly, and it's like reaching a big, thick, goopy tendril up to kind of grab you, and you just like, boom! You smash that tendril, and it just like explodes, like hitting a water balloon. Just like,
That's awesome.
splats all over, and
Very
the
good.
like the gelatinous mass of this thing is definitely reduced. I need to like fucking write down.
Keep track of itself.
Yeah. That was 9?
9.
Okay. And I'm just gonna do the initiative. Why don't we roll for initiative? I'll give you kind of a surprise round,
Okay, thank you.
and we'll now roll initiative.
All right.
So roll a d20 with your initiative roll thing.
Sorry, how do I know what my initiative is?
I think it should say up at the very top. It's like one of your
Oh, yeah.
yeah
Oh, +4.
plus
D20.
4.
Oops. 10 plus 4 is 14.
14. What's
7.
that? 7. Minus 2 is 5.
Is that ballroom?
That's the fucking jelly.
Oh, okay.
Not the most initiative of.
No.
And Balrin,
11.
11 plus nothing is just 11.
Okay.
So it's you, then Balrin, then the jelly.
Okay.
So that was your turn.
Balrin's
Balrin gets a
turn.
turn. Balrin goes to smash it with.
That's right.
So he's using a sword.
I thought it was a hammer.
It's a big two-handed sword, I think
Okay.
is the way that Roll20 generated it.
Yeah.
So he flips it around.
Oh my god.
And he does a fucking what is that? I think that's the Mordhau, isn't it? The pommel, the cross piece hit
Okay.
is a Mordhau.
Nice.
And he does that. So he hits it with like the back end of his fucking sword,
Dang.
hammer style.
2.
And it just fucking passes through the jelly,
Damn it.
just completely. And then he's like busy shaking up. He's like, gross, it's stuck on my sword.
It was a great idea, Lauren. Try it again.
And then do you get 2 attacks, or is that it? Oh, because the
Nope.
offhand doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it goes to attack. Goes to hit you.
It's an 8.
It's an 8. That's 12.
Oops, sorry.
I guess maybe I should be rolling these back here so that you can't see them.
Oh.
12 to hit.
Oh, right. I have to look at that.
Yeah, your armor class.
On my sheet. 15.
It misses.
It misses.
So it's like as you like smashed off its tendril of goop kind of thing, it starts making a new tendril with the other side, and it kind of like, it kind of reaches for you, and you just kind of move out of the way. It has
Excellent.
fucking no impact.
Excellent.
All right, it's back to your turn.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna roll to hit it.
Roll to smash it again.
Now, if you recall, it was +6 +1 is 7. Is that right?
Yeah.
So that's a 9. +7 is 16.
Super duper hits.
Yay! So then I roll a
D6.
That's 4 +1. Ah. So 8.
8 damage. My God.
That's a good mace.
For a one fucking hander,
Are
this.
we doing this wrong?
No, that's right.
Okay, great.
Again, as it was like reaching up with that new tendril to kind of get you, you kind of step out of the way, you smash it with your fucking microphone mace, and you just splatter more of its jelly all over. And it's like half the size that it used to be.
All right.
Like this thing is dramatically reduced in size.
Excellent.
And as you are just batting tendrils of goop off this thing, Balrin walks up to hit it again. And this time he's like kind of golf swinging his sword.
That was the trick.
Yeah, and he fucking connects. So the damage for him... What's that number?
7.
7! Oh my God. I can't see past my DM screen.
It's working really well.
7 plus 4 is 11 damage. So he kind of like turns it broadside and he just splats almost half of what's left of this jelly off.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, quick question. Was I supposed to be using the same damage dice as my javelin? Or no, wait, as my rapier?
No. I looked
Okay.
it up. I looked it up and it's a D6.
Oh, it's a D6.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We're totally good.
Very good. I was very worried. Okay, great. Thank you.
And so having Balrin kind of come so close and kind of reach or smash it, it reaches for Balrin and tries to goop strike him.
No! 18!
Oh my God. The fuck? 18?
Yeah.
Yeah. He fucking reaches out a goopy tendril
No.
and it grabs Balrin like in between the joints of his plates. Like the goop kind of hits his armor, then creeps up through the plates in the armor, and you hear the sizzling sound as it starts to burn Balrin. For boy.
He dies in every game. He's gonna be fine.
Oh!
Oh my God! Hang on.
That's 9 fucking damage.
Okay, you have. Oh wait. Oh shit! You have 12.
So it starts burning Balrin. Awful.
This is
Awful.
bad.
Balrin has a max hit point of 12.
Yeah.
And this is 9 damage. So it starts like kind of pumping itself into his armor and melting his flesh. And you
It's
hear
not poison. It's corrosive.
Yeah.
Okay.
and you hear Balrin fucking just screaming as he's getting melted.
This is awful.
And it's your turn.
Oh. I go to hit the thing again, but
Yep.
as I do it, I yell, "Dwarf, heal yourself!" Heal thyself. I wish I said thyself in real life. Okay. It's a 9
Yep.
plus. What is it again? Plus, that's why I'm on Balrin's sheet. I got confused. Yeah, that's right. Plus 7 is 16.
Okay, now roll it again, because I like to kind of think of you like smash it, toss it into your other hand, and then smash it again. Because like you get
As a
2
bonus
attacks.
action.
Yeah, like you get 2 attacks with your 2 daggers.
I can with two-handed combat. Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. So imagine
Or
you just
two-
kind of
two
like
weapons.
2 weapon combat. Imagine you just kind of toss it into your other hand and fucking.
Okay.
So roll it again. See if you can hit it again.
A 15.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, 2 hits.
2 hits.
Yeah, roll me a d6 plus whatever your fucking crazy bonuses is.
5 total. Okay.
Okay.
So that's 9.
Yep.
Wait, do I do plus on both?
Yeah.
Okay. 9 plus 7 is 16. 16 total. Take that, you jerk.
Yeah.
You hurt my friend.
You fucking. So the way I think this works is it's kind of like creeping up Balrin's armor, right? And you kind of find the meatiest, thickest part of the jelly, and you just bring the hammer in and just boom, you get this big, thick hit wet. Like thick, wet hit.
Yuck. Yeah.
Where the mass of the jelly moves. Like you don't hit anything off it.
Yeah.
you hit it, and the whole jelly moves. And then you kind of toss the mace into your other hand, and you bring it down on top, and you smack it right down. It's like you kind of like kneading dough, and you kind of like smoosh it all into the middle,
Yes,
and then you
perfect.
smoosh it down.
Yeah.
So the first one gathered all the jelly into a single spot,
Awesome, yeah.
and then brought the mace down and just like exploded it in a tower of jelly,
That's very good.
and it just explodes all over the place.
Yes.
And the jelly's fucking dead.
Yes.
Yeah. And Balrin's sitting there, he's like, it was awful.
That was very bad.
There's no more,
Are
right?
you okay? I think there probably is. I look around.
You feel like there's probably more in here.
Oh no.
Balrin uses a bit of his lay on hands to give himself some hit points.
Okay.
He kind of pulls his armor off. He kind of
Did you want to see his character sheet?
no, I think we're okay. I just need to change the music.
Oh,
He kind of pulls his armor off, like of his arm where the jelly came up, and he starts kind of massaging the muscles, and you kind of notice that holy glow of lay on hands.
yeah.
As he kind of uses hit points to restore his own health, and he brings himself back up to 12 health.
Okay. That's very good.
And with the first ochre jelly of the temple in the Dwarven excavation ruins defeated, I think we can call it there.
All right.
And next time you can finish up the rest of the temple with the Dwarven excavation, and you can see about helping out Norbus and Dazzlin. And
I love the name Dazzlin.
I love that name, right?
Very good. Awesome.
And
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Thank you.
When I saw the fucking dice for the recommended damage dice for the ochre jellies, and it's like 2d6 damage, recommends 9 damage. I'm like, what the fuck? That kills Delia in one hit.
Yeah.
So I decided to not use the recommended damage
Thank you.
and just actually roll it out.
Oh, I get
Yeah, so I
it.
used the 2d6. So it says, like, for quickness, you can just use you can just use 9
I see.
as an average, or you can roll it if you
Got it.
want. So I decided to roll it because
Oh my god.
otherwise, as soon as it fucking hits you, Delia's just fucking dead.
Toasted.
Um,
Wow.
So
That's a very scary thing. Sorry, yeah. Tell
I
me.
know. If possible, try to add this +1 mace on your
I will.
D&D Beyond,
Yeah,
just because it's
totally.
kind of neat to be able to see that.
Yeah, will do. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, awesome. I think we're going to call it there, guys.
That's great.
That was super fun. I was so nervous.
Thank you for the game.
Thank you for playing.
That was really wonderful.
That was super fun.
Yeah.
That was really good. That was really good. It's gonna be a little bit like, I don't know. I was gonna say dry at first, but I actually kind of thought that was pretty fun.
What was so wonderful for me was because you're running it, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
I had played D&D a bit before, right?
Yeah.
But I haven't played it with you as the DM.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
have played Mar with you as the DM.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing how different it is.
Yeah.
With the different game systems.
Exactly.
It's
Right? Isn't it
crazy.
fucking radically different?
It's radically different. Yeah. It's really cool. It's
I-
very, very cool.
I want to use some of the things that I learned from this campaign guide as tips for how to run Mar.
Oh, interesting.
Like make up for any gaps that I have in Mar kind of thing.
Oh, that's very cool.
Thank you for the stream. Thank you, Lastiel. Look at them little grabbers. Look at these huge meaty grabbers.
There they are.
They're about the same size as my wife's hands. They are. Look at that. What can I say, guys? What can I say?
Yep.
It was amazing. I'm so glad you liked it, Merlin.
Thank you so much for watching, you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This was a hell of a lot of fun.
This is first one, right? So we don't really
First
know
one.
what's going on yet. But it was so much fun.
Yeah, we had no idea what to expect.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
thought I was going to drop the ball a lot more than I did, but
No, you're totally good.
I thought it
didn't
went-
feel like you ever did at all.
yeah, I thought it went pretty well. I like having the DM screen. Yeah, agreed.
It's just a little loud.
Oh, it's not.
Not repeating?
It's not repeating.
That's fine. I like having the DM screen too.
I like having the DM screen, and I like the way it looked on stream too, right?
You could see a bit of it.
Because you guys could see my DM screen and a little bit of the goodies that I had going on here, and that was kind of fun.
That was cool.
Yeah. I love this bin lurking. I'm so glad, man. From editor nitpicking standpoint, the mic a little bit more center table. I'll give you a picture. It's kind you mean like kind of in the middle rather than so right now the mic is right about here kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I cheated a little bit towards Kayleigh just because I know Kayleigh's a little bit quieter than me.
I felt like I was so loud.
I know.
Was I not so loud today, everybody?
I just gotta tell you guys, for Kayleigh's volume today was extraordinarily loud.
I know, just straight up shouting.
I would like to applaud Kayleigh.
Are you okay? Did I yell at you?
You were scaring me.
I know, I'm sorry.
There was loud Kayleigh.
I know,
she's talking to the backside of the microphone. Oh. Well, no, but here's the thing. The microphone doesn't have a backside, right?
Does it? Oh.
They function funky. Okay, because I thought I turned it. Okay, just a sec. What if I do this? Hold on.
Does that sound terrible if he's touching it?
Just a sec. I'm gonna fix it.
He's fixing it.
I'm fixing it.
Is that anything? Is that different?
Does this sound any better? I just turned it around the other way.
We're saying words and things. +1 mace, weapon mace, uncommon.
And now I'm talking.
No.
Sounds worse.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Oh, Kayleigh sounds
Oh, okay, so it does have a back.
good. Who knew that? Just a sec. I'm fixing it. Don't worry about
So
it.
it's even?
So what about this?
Is that better?
So what if I... don't worry. I'm fixing it.
Shouting.
Yeah, turn it 90 degrees. So this is 90 degrees.
Yeah. If saying words.
So now
words
we're
and
both
things.
talking, but it seems like the volumes are... This is good?
Oh.
Well, fuck me. That's my fault, guys. So I didn't realize there was a back to a condenser mic. I thought that if I turned it back and forth...
I thought so too, yeah.
that it'd pick us up equally, but I didn't realize Kayleigh was at the back. So I apologize for that. That was my misunderstanding of how these mics work. We'll have it like this next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah. Sorry
No
about that.
worries.
But hey,
We'll figure it out.
first session, right? What can you do? Certain mics have an omnidirectional pattern. All right.
Yours does not.
I didn't think I had a question. I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought I knew it. I thought I had figured it out. Oh, well.
That's amazing.
100% unacceptable. Stream ruined. Time to make a new idea. Yeah, you know what?
That's it. Forget
I think
it.
you're right, Vanguard.
Forget
That's it.
it.
I hope you enjoyed the first and last ever stream of Date Night and Dragons.
It's called.
All
We're calling
fucking
it.
done. All
We're
done.
calling it. Oh man.
But seriously, thank you guys for hanging out. That was a lot of fun. That worked out really well. I love playing on the fiery background.
That was so fun.
I really, really like that we get to play on this fiery background. That's very fun for me.
Yeah.
This was a wonderful way to hang out with my wife.
Hi.
So, on a purely personal level, this was amazingly fun.
Yeah. I had to work today, so this was a very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, Kayleigh was
Fun
working
break.
for a bunch of the day.
Good day.
Still hear bees in Milton's audio.
Still hear bees.
It was super fun. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you guys liked it. It's gonna get better too. I thought today went pretty well.
I know there were
But
I think so too. It will for sure get. It was very.
Yeah.
We're just figuring it out.
Exactly.
Right? So it'll
I
for
think,
sure get better.
I think as good as today was, I think it's gonna get much better as the sessions go on. So.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you
worry.
for joining in on the inaugural Date Night and Dragon stream. It was a hell of a lot of fun.
It was.
Yeah. And we'll toss you over to someone else. Ending right at midnight. Right on time. Guys, I know you like to blame me for being late. Dry your damn hands off. Don't slick up the dice too much.
Oh, there it goes.
Gross. All right, guys. Thank you so much. This was a hell of a lot of fun. Not late. Perfectly on time. The one thing you guys can't blame me for. I end my streams promptly. I end my streams right on fucking time. I am amazing. And I am
good.
amazing.
That's
I
good.
am amazing and fantastic and
So
wonderful.
good. So great. Love that guy.
I guess we can
Stop it.
do that to go XLR. Now, is there anyone to host? Oh my god, Disby Eric's is streaming. Disby runs like the late night spoop town, doesn't she? Dude, Yendar, I fucking love that name for the stream, for the title. There's a new show in town, and it's me. I loved that line so much.
Oh, good
man.
night, Merlin.
Good night, Merlin. Good night, Last
Yeah, good night, Last
Good night, Vanguard. Good night, everyone.
night,
This has been a hell of a lot of fun. Thank you so much. We're going to keep doing more of these. They have been wonderful. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Hey!
Clapping. There we go.
Okay, let's go raid Disby Eric's. Let's go raid Disby Eric's. Show her a lot of love, guys. Oops. /raid Disby Eric's. All right, let's go see what she's doing, guys.
Good night.
Have a wonderful night. Bye.